No, because
wait a
I'm
minute.
hanging up washing.
All right.
I'll need to.
I'll turn it on a minute. I
camera.
just need to sort some things out.
I need to find my camera because I knocked it off my desk.
Alrighty.
That one there will do then.
That's the mountains.
Blur. I am Blur.
I am Blur. The planet.
There we go.
There we
That's
go.
the I am gone fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Just move them off. Things off my little desk here so they're not visible on stream.
Stratson. Oh, what's it called? I forget the name.
My boxes of
Blood.
box of
Blood
matches
Raven.
there.
Yeah, if we haven't gone live with camera view yet, then
No, we're not that strong.
luckily it's off screen. But I do have lots of shit here.
Ah, cool. Nice. All my painting is behind me. This is my wee office.
Yeah, but that's mini paint.
I was thinking about how, so we could schedule bio breaks, and all our cameras get muted while like a mid-quel sort of music plays for like 2 minutes, and we can all run and do whatever and chat and come back to it.
I mean, I've got
That's
B-right back screen.
I know, but music could play over that. Like just
If
like
we've got the music that we can play.
Ways of doing that, but but I don't know how to do that just yet. I'll need to look that up.
It's a future thing that we can do though.
Yeah, I was just saying to TR before everyone joined, gonna look for a virtual mixer to like do music and things and that. But then we'd have.
I am gonna get a proper mic and like one of those standing camera, standing mics that I can, like that, and a camera.
Boom mic.
I need to get one of those eventually.
Yeah. I want to get a decent webcam. This is meant to be a 1080p one, but it's blurry.
No, the background.
Oh, the camera itself is blurry as well. I mean, you can see on my face it's blurry, even if I take off the blurry background. Change the background to none. It's still blurry.
It's not HD, really.
It's meant to be.
Yeah.
It says on the camera, HD, 1080p.
Is that the camera or Discord streaming?
Could be the Discord streaming. I don't know how to change the settings on that, though.
Yeah, fair.
Because, if I put it on, like, OBS sort of thing, it'd probably be a bit higher quality. But, again, I don't know how to do that.
All right, if we're ready, we can go.
If we're ready, are we all ready?
I'm good.
All right. Scenes.
Okay.
Wait, is anybody else in Roll20?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, damn. That was. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Alterra. Tonight we're continuing with our sort of multiple kind series of one-shots. It's Tales from the Alterverse, and we're back with episode 5, The Vampire's Hunger. What could it be about? Perhaps the hunger of a vampire, but what kind of hunger does it have? Who knows? Anyway, I'm James Robertson.
Could be like Marceline, just be hungry for the colour red.
It could be hungry like a wolf as well, like Duran Duran. But anyway, I'm James Robertson, and I'm joined. I'll be your games master for the evening, and I'm joined by these knuckleheads around me. Want you from TR, then Ben, then Ali. Introduce your characters and just briefly, a wee little bit about them. How you're feeling?
Okay. Hey, TR. I'm playing a half-orc rogue called Stealthy Stew. I'm a twin, and I'm an orphan. And that's about it.
And Ben.
I'm Ben. Tonight I am playing Sneaky Pete, the twin brother of Stealthy Stew, half orc rogue, orphan, and we might find out who our parent or who adopted us later on.
I mean, maybe, but it's unlikely. I've not written anything in about it, but we'll certainly find
That's
out.
That's fine.
So,
we'll shoehorn it in. Don't worry.
Lastly, Ali. See if one
Hello
of the
there. I am Helvetica the Bold, the least sneaky person in this party. A Dragonborn paladin plus other stuff, and I don't think I adopted these two. I might have done.
Nah.
Drunken hazes
You're not my
happen to
daddy.
all of us. I mean, you may not be their father, but you could have one of them calling you daddy. That's always allowed.
Oh no.
Yeah. One or both of them calling you daddy. So, the three of you are adventurers, and you work for the Adventurers Guild in Aqaba, the City of Heroes. It's a wealthy time for you guys. It's pretty amazing. There are always monsters to fight, and at the center of the Four Nations with Steamforge to the north, Highgarden, Salarin, and Bloodraven to the east, there's always something happening. There's always some sort of petty squabble or fight that's going on somewhere in the Four Nations. And if you're seeking treasure, if you're just looking to fight monsters, or just looking to quest and save people and gain a bit of notoriety, there's always something going on. The three of you have found yourselves in Bloodraven, and whether you were fighting in the pits or whatever you were doing there, you've caught the eye of one of the vampire lords of the city, a man named Junior von Stradson.
God.
And he has contacted you and requested your presence at his manor villa overlooking in the central walled area of the city, which is, it's not uncommon for adventurers to be called upon by high-ranking members of the nobility of this city, but you've answered the call, and as you sort of knock on the door, you're greeted by a tall, thin, gaunt human woman, very high cheekbones, long pointed nose, hair slicked back in a very sort of Miss Trunchbull, Minerva McGonagall kind of way. She does not say a word to you, but just sort of nods and turns and continues down this dark hall. Not waiting to see if you follow or not, but she expects you to, clearly. She reaches a double door at the far end of the corridor and stands there and waits.
Yeah, Helvetica just follows straight in.
Perfect.
Brother, we go behind the paladin.
Yeah, meet you.
Awesome. She opens the door and a soft, orangish yellow light filters out, and just a faint, ethereal kind of music of the theremin you can hear, and stringed instruments as well. And you're greeted by this fairly handsome but quite young-looking vampire man. You can tell he's a vampire because, well, the fangs are instantly visible, the pale face, slick-back hair, all of it. Also the fact that he's feasting on a person. And as he sort of servants take the body of this person away, he gestures at the seats in front of him. Ah, I've been expecting you. Welcome. Please, I have a mission for you all, if you wouldn't mind.
No.
Your lordship. And Stu
Oh.
keeps bowing.
Oh, please, you bow just the right amount, but get up now. I'm sure it's hard to go back. Please. I won't beat around the bush. I'm sure you're very busy, and to be honest, I have a vested interest in seeing... Well, I'll cut right to the chase, shall I? I have a piece of property that was stolen from my vaults. It belonged to my father, and I wish for you to retrieve it.
What is his piece?
What do you know of the Hero Forge weapon?
I mean...
Look at my brother.
I mean, I've heard they make very good statues.
The Hero Forge weapons were made by the dwarves back when they were fighting the giants, and, well, they are weapons of quite a fair bit of power.
I thought they were self-forged.
Parallel universe.
Parallel universe.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
It's a meta pigeon.
But yes,
It was my familiar who exists.
Essentially, I had one, and it was stolen from me, and I want it back. And I don't care who you have to murder to do it. I don't care what I have to pay you, as long as it is returned to me post-haste. I very much need it. And Stealthy Stu and Sneaky Pete, with your passive perceptions of 19 and 21 respectively, you can see his, even though he's freshly consumed a victim, you know vampires are generally sort of, much like if a human or if a Noid were to just have a big feast, they would be relaxed, sort of entering that blissful food coma. This guy is shaking somewhat. There's clearly some sort of nervous tick, like it's like this thing is precious to him. Like he desperately needs it.
Can you describe exactly what it is? Like, is it a sword? A dagger? I produce a dagger from nowhere. Like this.
He begins to cast a spell, and very quickly creates this minor illusion of a greatsword, the blade of which is a gleaming black, sort of obsidian-looking thing. Those of you better versed in Arcana would recognize it as black arcanite, but there's a sheen of silver almost to the edge, or is it platinum? You aren't quite certain. Beset into the handle are diamonds and rubies and all sorts of different gems. This is Heartbreaker, and I would be very much obliged to you fine folk if you could retrieve them for me. I received a note, a letter, goading me, telling me that I could not and would not be able to retrieve them. But thankfully my spies have located the location based on the cryptic message within, and he produces a short rhyming couplet, which I don't have written in front of me. But at the bottom is scrawled Karndar Mountains, brackets, White Maw Mountain. So White Maw is a volcano. So I can guess that whoever, well, it was probably one of those filthy dwarves looking to reclaim their what they believe to be their property. But interestingly enough, I have heard a couple of rumors that other such Hero Forge weapons have also been going missing of late. One was taken from Salarin vaults, and one I believe was stolen on transit from Steamforge to Bloodraven. I don't know who owns them. All I know is that I heard rumors through the grapevine. You are welcome to have those as payment. Hero Forged weapons are very sought after, but I just want Heartbreaker back. And if you can do that, I'll pay you handsomely. I'll give you influence in the city, gold, jewels, well,
Books.
whatever. Books. Sure, I have friends who can get you books. Money, women, men, any in between, pigeons. I don't know. But that is my offer. That is what I need from you, adventurers. And I do have a mage who can teleport you to Whitemaw, to the base, in fact. And I would leave it up to you, whether there's some hidden lair, if there's a guy involved who has stolen my stuff, eliminate them if you can. If you don't find them, just the sword, please, and thank you.
Given an option, would you like us to bring the person back, or just the sword?
Just the sword is fine. If you do find the person, and they leave you no choice but to kill them, the head would be nice. The head, or a trophy, something of their personage that, that I can perhaps send to their family as a warning, or to other families, or to display on my gate. I don't know. Use your imagination. This is why I hire adventurers. This is why I hire Noids, because they have imagination. Any other questions?
So this time Helvetica's just been studying the sword, and will draw her own sword, which is not magical, but also black, styled in the shape of a feather. And we'll just go, will this do?
I don't believe that is the kind of sword he looks for. I believe the one he looks for has more power.
Also, it doesn't look like a feather.
There's
Yeah,
that.
Helvetica shrugs and puts it away.
I need my sword back. But thank you for the feather. Appreciate it. With your insight there, Sneaky Pete, he doesn't appreciate it. That's all.
No.
No.
He's a vampire.
That's sure.
He thinks that all other noids or all other sentient things are beneath him.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Or food.
Or food.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. He's not regarding you in the way that vampires might regard noids as food. He seems to just be thinking about this sword. Yeah, not right now. He's just eating. But yes, unless you have any more questions for him or any requests, anyone?
Where is this mountain? We're not local.
It's in the Karn Diamond. It's up north of Steamforge, so just north of the Four Nations.
To be honest, we've only been in this sort of plain, I guess, for a couple of weeks. We don't know.
Yeah, well, understandable. But it is a volcano, and as far as I'm aware, it is an active volcano. So just be aware of that.
Mr. Vampire, I have a question.
Yes, the first half-orc robe.
Do you have a way to get us back? Or do you teleport us there and then we make our own way back? Like, how quickly would you like the sword?
This is true. My mage will go with you and wait in base camp. How about that? And she will teleport you back.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. But she will not teleport you back without my sword.
it makes sense.
All right.
Helvetica shrugs, yeah.
Very quickly, he summons this mage. She's quite young looking, and is dressed like your sort of classic student witch. She's got a red bow, dark brown hair about there, got a broom under one arm, little basket in the other. Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service business. She requests you stand around her. Junior von Stradson gives you a salute, and suddenly your nose goes from being filled with this lovely perfumed incense smell, with a bit of far off sort of the smell of salty sort of fighting pits, and suddenly it's just brimstone and ash and smoke and rock, and you think you can smell swamp a little way away, and fire, and all sort of different scents. We're just going to call her Kiki, aren't we? Kiki's sort of sits down, begins pitching a tent, and nods at you, and you're standing at the base of this truly massive volcano that's pretty much just like about a 50-degree angle to the ground, fairly steep. However, with your passive perception of 21, Sneaky Pete, about halfway up, about a third to halfway up, you notice there's a crevice that looks as though it has been carved into this rock. Whether that was, can't tell from this distance how big it is or what could have gone in there, but it definitely looks to have been carved for sure.
Fair. As we're walking away from Kiki, and they start pitching a tent, Sneaky Pete's going to turn to them and go, didn't realise you had that kind of equipment, and then keep walking.
Okay, yeah. Everyone starts with inspiration, but you've just lost yours for that comment. Less of that, please. As you make your way up the mountain, is anyone wearing heavy armor?
Yep.
I need a
Nope.
I need a Constitution save from everyone. And Helvetica, I'm afraid, with your heavy armor, it is a disadvantage as the smoke and ash, and unless you're resistant to fire.
I'm not resistant to fire.
Yeah, everyone, Constitution save, Helvetica with disadvantage as you make your way up, and just near at hand there are just plumes of gas and occasional spurts of lava that just, and from the ground nearby, one almost catches you, Stealthy Stew, but you all just managed to scramble up the last bit of earth, and the heat now is, while it's not 30-degree summer day intense, it's oh gosh, it's you having to catch your breath, basically. You're going through a lot of your water very quickly, and you're standing at what looks to be the entrance to this place. And as you look inside, you see roughly and rudely carved from the rock itself is the stone staircase.
Ah, wonderful. Always nice to see they put adventures in mind.
After you, Mr. Paladin.
I was going to say, Sneaky Pete would go up front and, hang on. And we'll keep an eye out to see if there's any, dodgy looking steps or anything like that.
Roll a survival check for me.
Survival.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that.
19's good. So as you head down the staircase, parts of it have been reinforced with metal, and those parts are quite badly rusted. But the parts that aren't, the walls seem smooth, kind of slick. The air inside the passageway is warm, quite humid, quite foul. Actually, as if of with a 19. It's an almost sulfurous sort of gas, but it's not completely overpowering. The staircase is quite sturdy. It takes your weight, which for 2 half orcs and a dragonborn, you're pretty glad that it takes the weight. And it just spirals down about 100 feet. And those of you with a passive perception, I'm just going to say it, Helvetica, you probably won't notice anything ever, just passively.
I was.
But yeah,
the helmet is just like that. It's just blinkers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah,
it's just a thin slit that you can barely see out of. But the other two of you do notice it's just like a thrumming, just like a continuous low vibration. As you step foot inside the stairs, just a continuous sort of, as if of a washing machine in like 2 flats above you, just ever so slight vibration. And you arrive, and as you reach the bottom of the stairs, you find the floor is submerged beneath a foot of water. As there's just a passageway, it's about 40-50 foot long ahead of you, and then moves off to the left. So with your dark vision, and in fact there are torches that burn throughout this entire place, but due to the humidity, they are giving off quite a fair bit of smoke, which can only be contributing to the general sort of acrid nature of the place. The corridor itself is 10 foot tall, all carved out of, and in some place seemingly melted through solid rock. As you get to the corner and move forward, it looks as though something has just blasted lava through this thing, or intense fire through this thing.
I adore the ambience.
It would be nice, but it's a bit soggy. It's a bit marshy. Yeah. You can feel yourself in your armor getting swamp ass, basically. Oh. Yeah, sorry to say.
Yeah.
As you round the corner, I imagine the rogues are being quite stealthy, but are being hampered by the Dragonborn in full plate.
I imagine we're up in front for a bit.
Yeah.
Just trying to sneak ahead.
How far forward do you want to be?
20 foot. Or at least Stealthy Stu would be 20 feet.
Okay. So as you round the corner then, 20 foot ahead of Helvetica, you see ahead of you a large-looking cat. And when I say large, I mean it takes up the entire 10 foot wide and 10 foot tall tunnel. And it's just sort of sat there on its haunches, rather mangy looking, very bedraggled, sort of quite thin, but definitely definitely fed, but quite mangy and bedraggled looking large cat creature squatting in. You can see just past her 3 tunnels in a sort of prong move off behind her. She's just sat there and regards you as you get a bit closer.
Are we talking just like house cat but massive, or?
You could roll me a nature check if you want.
Okay.
I mean, does it see me? My passive sneak is 23.
It's a corridor that you're walking, and it's brightly lit.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. If there were shadows, we would talk, but no, it's a straight it's a corner you round, and she's looking directly at you.
How much is your sneak?
Plus 13.
So 17. You would recognize this creature as it's a fairly powerful magical creature, in fact. This is a sphinx of some kind.
Yeah.
Just squatting in this place where the 3 corridors converge. And as you get closer, she sort of stretches her back and stands up, and then just turns on the spot and sits back down, drums her paw on the ground, and says, Hi.
Good day to you, O great Sphinx. What a lovely cave you've got.
Hey, kitty.
That's racist. I have been.
Sneaky Pete puts the ball of yarn back in his bag.
Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on.
Hmm?
I saw yarn. I saw yarn.
Yes.
Hmm.
Pulls a ball back out and goes, "Do you want it?"
Eyes widen. Yeah. I'll get it from you.
How about this? You let us pass. You have the ball.
Unfortunately, I oh, I have been commanded by magic to. I've been commanded by magic to ask you a riddle. Of course, this is why the Sphinx is here.
Shit.
I have to ask you a riddle, and if you get it correctly, you may pass in any direction. If you give me the ball of string, I can guide you on whatever journey you're on, whatever you're here for, whatever you seek. Does that seem like a fair trade? However, if you get my riddle wrong, I attack.
That seems perfectly reasonable.
It does, doesn't it? These are the terms of the contract. Very well. She stands up, stretches again, comes back down, and sort of readies into a pouncing position, just in case. Round she is, yet flat as a board. The altar of the lupine lords, jewel on black velvet, pearl in a sea unchanged but ever changing eternally. Who is she?
So Alistair knows it's where the Helvetica would.
Yeah.
You may roll an intelligence check to be for your character to believe what you believe. Just flat intelligence.
That's 18, so I'm going to say...
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
So say, oh, I've heard this one, the moon.
You what? No! Aww.
I mean, I was going to say time, but...
Is it flat?
I mean, it's a big ball of wibbly wobbly.
It's a flat circle.
Well, whatever it is, the moon is correct, my intelligent friend. So you may pass. If you give me that ball of string there, you may pass, and I will give you. I will answer. I will answer you. You who answered the riddle, one question. How about that?
I mean, sounds fair. Hands over the ball of yarn.
So, brave fellows, what would we like to know?
Yes, what would you like to know? I did not prepare for this.
Which way is the best way to go?
I mean, I was going to ask its name, but...
Ooh.
Yes. Always good to make friends.
Because that's every DM's downfall. Name for the NPC? What? How dare you?
The name is Cave
What do you
Sphinx.
wish to know? What do you wish to know?
But saying that, yeah, probably the right way to go to find the thing.
Yeah, like
I have
way are
in
the
my
dwarves?
employ certain eldritch powers that should allow us to locate the correct route.
Right. It's a good job we brought him, hey?
So, what'll it be?
Go on, Paladin.
So,
Give me a question.
Come on, Ali.
Hit him with your best shot.
I know what I want to ask, but it's such a dumb question.
If
Even better.
If it's in...
What does Helvetica ask?
Yeah, if it's in character.
Okay. Have you heard any rumors lately?
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
enjoy your stay in the dungeon. And she goes to batting around the string.
Helvetica attempts to shake hands with the Sphinx.
She puts a paw out. You can give a
Okay.
low five if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
She lets you scratch the back of her hand.
Good.
So, the tunnel ahead of you stretches into a three-pronged sort of thing. The one to the left, the one straight ahead, one to the right. The one to the left extends the same distance as the one to the right, whereas the one straight ahead extends only about 40 or 50 feet and then seems to open up into a much larger cavern.
Okay. I will cast Locate Objects on Heartbreaker.
Ooh, I need you to roll me an Arcana check, please.
Okay.
Or actually a spellcasting check.
Okay.
So
Is that
charisma
just...
check plus charisma check plus proficiency.
Okay. So we... proficiency bonus is 4 at this level, right? Yeah, 4.
Yes.
If you go to your
Nat 20.
Wow.
A natural 20.
Okay.
You can
A
feel
28.
you can feel something trying to invade your mind. And you hear a in Dwarvish sort of, no, I can't do it. Fuck's sake. And you just smash through what looks to be, it's almost like a smashing through of a glass panel, and you immediately sort of, not 20. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say your vision suddenly flies out of your body, and you find yourself looking down at an inverted ziggurat with glass panels all around the place, and you suddenly get an image of water rushing up to greet you. And as the water hits you in the face, you suddenly have an image of the sword lying amidst a bed of jewels and coins and magical items and trinkets aplenty. And then it pings off to your left as you climb back into yourself. Your vision comes back into yourself.
That which we seek is held within a foul hoard. That way. I should point the direction that was.
It was to the left.
To the left.
It was the left-hand prong.
Right.
We sneak ahead.
Mm-hmm.
No, my notes. I've gone too far. Bum, 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 bum. You move on your way. Come on. Apologies. There we go. That is... No, that's the previous one. Cool. So, halfway down this corridor is a 10-foot long, 10-foot deep open pit. So you can see the water level moves from the, and you're still about a foot deep in water as you move along. You can see the water gets a bit darker as you reach this sort of widened area. Those of you, whoever was first, make me a dexterity saving throw, please, to avoid falling in this pit. I believe TR, you said you were stealthing ahead, yeah.
Oh. 17.
17. You put your foot out ahead of you and just fall backwards and sort of grab onto the wall to avoid splashing into the water. But yeah, you managed to avoid what could have been a trap. As you glance down into the depths of the water, you don't see anything down there, but no, you don't like the look of it. You don't like the feel of it. Feels wrong down there. You don't know how deep it goes. But anyway, you're able to...
Mr. Baladin, can you swim?
Oh, in heavy plate.
Not while wearing this, but I was quite the swimmer back in my young days.
Shall we swim across? Can we do something with your plate, or do you want to try and climb the walls?
I mean, you can put it in my bag here.
You got a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, very good. I will require it to be put back on the other side.
Yeah, you take the 10 minutes to take
Yep.
off your plate, put it in the bag, swim across, and then take the 10 minutes to put it back on.
Yeah, so underneath the plate, Helvetika's wearing some very, very creased robes,
Mm.
as if she was
Don't know
wearing
how
it
many
and
more
then
of those.
put armor over the top.
Don't know how many more of those pit traps there are, but
Yep.
you can put your armor back on the other side of this one, and you continue down another sort of 40-foot long bit of corridor, testing the floor now as you go. It sort of maneuvers around to the left for about 15-20 feet, and then takes a sharp right turn before going another 70 feet, and you can see off in the distance, and the area is still brightly lit. The humidity giving off, lamps giving off a lot of smoke in this area. You can see it opens out into a slightly larger looking room along there. And as you head along this corridor, who might be leading, just out of interest?
It'd be one of the stealthy boys.
So yeah, letting the stealthy people
Yeah.
lead.
Anyone?
I'm just gonna mage armor myself as we're walking along.
Fair enough. I'll take the point.
Perfect. As you head along, you do notice there's nothing untoward as you head along this corridor, except for a series of copper-colored metal plates just lining the walls. As you pass through them, nothing seems to happen to you. As your sibling sort of joins you and toddles after, and the plates are 6 foot tall and 6 foot wide. They're pretty these massive copper metal plates.
Reminds me of home.
As you head through them with your passive perceptions, the two of you just hear a sort of hum and like a tangy taste in your fillings as you head through them, but nothing really terrible happens to you. In addition to the just sort of low hum that you get as you continue through this.
I mean,
this clearly volcano.
I'm not wearing plate, but I am wearing studded armor.
That's fine. It's embedded in the leather. It's not like it's touching your skin, is it, Ali?
I am wearing robes underneath the plate.
Yeah, but your metal armor begins to become uncomfortably warm after heading 20 feet down this tunnel. Do you continue?
If it's just uncomfortably warm, I'll continue.
Just uncomfortably warm. Okay. As you continue on, it's becoming hot now at 30 feet down the corridor. There's still another 60 foot left of this corridor. And your metal armor has become actually quite hot to the touch. It's like putting your hand on a kettle that is not boiling, but is about half to 3/4 way boiled.
Okay.
It's starting to become very, very uncomfortably hot now. Almost painful.
Almost painful. How far? I would say I was 60 feet from the end.
It's another 60 feet to the far end.
Okay, and I've done 30 feet.
Yes, yeah.
Brother, this paladin sweats a lot. Look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is becoming very sweaty. And you look ahead at the half orcs, and of course you guys are perspiring, and it's very humid down here. But this isn't happening to you. As you touch your hand to your metal swords or daggers at your side, you're like, oh god, glad those are in sheaths. We'll be in trouble.
So Helvetica will start running forward.
You're gonna start running.
Start running, and then once she's got enough momentum up, we'll cast Misty Step. It's going to launch herself out the other end.
Okay. What's the range on Misty Step?
30 foot.
It transports me 30 feet, so I can't get the full distance.
So you want to run another 30 feet.
I want to run
and
another 30 feet. Yeah.
Okay. So as you run, you might change your tune. So as you run forward another 10 feet, it starts to burn, and you take 7 points of fire damage as just the metal in contact just begins to sear. Like even as you're running, the joints of the metal armor, your gauntlet accidentally brushes against your ear, your scales, and it's becoming extremely hot. Do you continue on another 10 feet? Yeah.
Yeah, I continue on. I think I'm just going to take it.
At the 50-foot mark, you take another 9 points of fire damage.
Okay.
You are aware that only 10 feet to go, you can then Misty Step, but as you run the final 10 feet to get to 60 foot into the tunnel, you take another 13 points of fire damage as your skin begins to just boil, but you manage to get off your spell and you collapse in a heap at the other side of this. It's now lovely and warm as you begin to feel your skin begin to soothe. You've clearly made it past the harmful area of this metal heating corridor.
Well, that was completely unfair. Give me a moment. I'm just going to do something, and I will heal myself. I'll work out if that's lay on hands or cast a spell in a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll lay
I think
hands.
we just stroll down past you.
I'll give myself 15 back.
Yeah, I'm assuming it just gets hotter and hotter as we walk in. And do we take any
It
damages
does.
as we go through?
You take no damage at all. But let me see. So your weapons that are in sheaths heat up rather uncomfortably. You can just unstrap them and carry them by the belt, or put them in your bag of holding, and you get to the other side of this corridor a-okay, no problem. As you unstrap or put them back on, nothing terrible's happened. There's definite smell of smoking leather.
My weapon isn't metal.
And smoking dragonborn.
Yeah.
And smoking dragonborn.
Yeah.
What
My weapon isn't metal, so I keep it there.
I am an emerald dragonborn.
Fun. Well, I'm glad you're not a fire.
Yeah.
But as you run out here, you're now in a 30 by 30 foot room. There are actually, with your passive perception, Sneaky Pete, you do notice a very thin sort of crease in the wall over to your right hand side. Your roguish nature identifies it as possibly the outline of a hidden door beyond which you don't know what lies beyond which. But directly ahead, there is a set of stairs leading up and out of this water and onto dry land. Heads up about 10 foot and turns left and out of sight.
Sneaky Pete is gonna walk over to the door outline and attempt to see if you can find a keyhole or anything along those lines, to like a hidden button or panel or switch.
Yeah, there's no keyhole, but as you sort of feel around the edge, you do feel what feels to be a hidden latch, just sort of up near the top, just in between the crease of the ceiling and the door.
Father, would you like me to do that for you?
Yeah, go for it. You seem to.
Then I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're the better one of them to do that.
I cast Mage Hand from a distance and open it.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand check. There's quite an intricate little, like it would be a thieves' tools check, unless you
22.
have. Great, perfect. Without too much trouble, your mage hand just flies forward and with like a little hook finger unhooks it and the door doesn't swing open, but is now like there's nothing holding it closed.
Mm-hmm. Did you take
Can we
a
hear
luck
anything
stone?
now it's open?
Do you hear anything?
I have a luck stone.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Um, do you hear anything? Let me just see.
I mean, now the door's, been opened a bit. It's not so sealed, so you might hear something through it.
Oh no, you've just undone the latch of it. You would need to push it open to sort of hear. See, it is still solid wall, pretty much. It's just sort of hinged in, but it's still very much closed.
Well, give it a push from a distance away.
Give it a push from a distance away. As it begins to open, you begin to hear just growling and just sort of grunting coming from within. And as the door sort of swings open, the metal hinges creaking, you definitely hear a horrible, terrible face, white-skinned, sort of elfin ears, and a massive claw pulls the door open the rest of the way. And as this thing with black, unseeing white, blind eyes lurches into the sort of dim light, a long tongue lashes out and sort of almost tastes the air, and then it looks in all three of your directions as another one of these creatures joins right behind it, and you can hear yet more of them beyond this door. As
I'm gonna try and hide.
in the 30-foot room that is bare, or well, let's roll some initiative, shall we?
Yep.
Bad.
Yeah, bad for me as well.
Not bad. Bad in general, but about what I expected.
Yeah. L gets 4. First do. And then it's a 13 going just before the undead. As it is Stu first, as these creatures appear right as you've opened this door.
Okay. Well, since I'm still 30 foot away and I don't really want to get closer, I'm just gonna pull out a short bow and shoot one.
Perfect. You can absolutely do that. There's only 2 you can see. There's one right at the front and then one just off its shoulder.
Just a 7.
Oh, there's 8 of them. Not 6 of them. Sorry, what was that? A 7?
Yeah, 26 to hit. 7 piercing.
7 piercing. Takes it.
And then, so there's no place that we could hide in this cavern. It's quite a smooth.
Fairly sparse. Yeah, it's a fairly sparse room. It's almost like an entrance hall. There are bits of like carvings on the walls. This was clearly some sort of entranceway at some point or other. There's just the door where the undead are coming out, and now the stairs leading up behind you out of the water that you can go.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm just going to move backwards till the paladin's in front of me.
Yeah, you do so. You're at the base of the stairs, I'll say. So directly across. It's 30 feet from the hidden door. As Pete, it is your turn.
Okay. So as no one's gotten up to it just yet, I'm gonna fling a couple daggers at it.
Amazing.
Yep. So first one is a 21 to hit.
Yep.
So that's 9 piercing.
9 takes it.
And offhand for a dirty 20 to hit.
Yep, that hits as well.
That's 3 piercing.
Amazing. The first one that's taken all 3 of these hits is still up.
Cool.
Do you back away to be beside your brother?
I'm gonna stay out of its reach, but I'm not gonna go all the way back 30 foot.
Okay. So just to paint the scene, Helvetica, you are just sort of in the middle of this room, near the stairs, but you've just healed yourself. We'll say I'm not that cruel as to say you've not got your healing off before this surprise attack. The rest of you, so Stu, you've backed right the way up. Pete, you've backed partially up. Yeah.
I'd say about 10, 15
Cool.
foot away from it.
So the undead charge. A pack of these undead, ghoulish creatures leap forward and pounce upon you, very quickly surrounding you. We'll say, 4 jump on the paladin, 3 are going to jump on Pete because he's closest, and we'll get the last one rounds the corner and sees off in the distance Stu and is going to leap at you. So that's what you get for not being right front and center is just 1 hit. So, do they get pack tactics? I thought they got pack tactics. No, it's the Ghast. So, 4 attacks on Paladin. Your AC is 20. They only have a +4, so only the natural 20 hits. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please, as you take 10 points of slashing damage. 17 does it. As you feel this sort of, clearly there's some sort of poison or undead yuckiness in the claws and bite of these creatures as they rush forward and rake your skin. But you manage to shrug it off. Only 10 points of damage to you. The 3 on Sneaky Pete also have a +4 to hit. So, only 1 hit again. Half as much damage. 6, 7, 8 points of slashing damage. And I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Con save. 8.
Oh dear. As the very self-same disease enters your bloodstream, and you yourself can, as you grit your teeth, you can feel your jaw clench, and the one in front of you that has attacked you grits its teeth and lets out this howl to the others. And the 4 that are on you, Helvetica, and the 1 that is charged at you, Stu, all hear this and turn and begin advancing. Well, on their next turn, are going to advance on Pete. As you, Pete, are paralyzed for 1 minute. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. And the final ghoul is going to attack Stu, but misses. As it's Helvetica's turn. Helvetica, you're just being swarmed by claws and teeth. They seem momentarily distracted, however, by the howl that's come out of the other one. And they are undead, by the way.
Yep. Okay, in that case, I'm going to save turn undead in case more undead come later. I'm going to cast Word of Radiance, as I say. Do you mind? And I'd like a Constitution saving throw from all of them. Sorry, the 4 that are near me.
All right. +0. So what you see is what you get.
So that's 3 of them fail.
Perfect. And at this level, it's 2d6 radiant.
Yep, 2d6 radiant. So
Perfect.
that's 10 radiant each.
Nice. Sweet. Those three recoil from you and are reevaluating their unlife decisions.
Yeah.
There's certainly the undead maggots that are writhing in all of their skin and teeth and face all burn away under this radiance of the dawn. But none of them are down.
Yeah.
As that's your action. Any bonus action?
No bonus action yet, most because I don't think I've got any good ones.
Back up to Stewie.
Okay, so the guy in front of me, bonus action steady aim. So I've got advantage, and I'm going to attack with my toothpick, which is the name of my sword, because Papa always said, "Name your weapons." 26. Oh, sorry, I meant to stick booming blade on that as well. So there you are. So it's
your dad's not brag, is it?
did
His as well. Stop naming stop linking your characters to mine. God's sake. You can't just give my characters children.
Why not?
For tax reasons.
13 plus yes, all the sneak attack. That one.
No,
dies.
it's 13 plus 7 radiant plus 5 thunder plus 6 if they move, then 18 sneak attack.
It's dead. It's a ghoul. It dies. It can't even make its constitution save to not die.
Brother, I will rescue you next. But I can't move because part of steady aim is you can't move.
Yes, that's true. It is Pete now. I'm afraid you're paralyzed. And as the ghouls advance on you, at the end of your turn, you do get to make a con save.
Cool. Let's do that then. No.
It's not a good day for you. That's a shame. You killed that one. The 4 that are on you, Helvetica, all provoke opportunity attacks. There's one that is looking weaker than the others. It's been hit 3 times already, or you can go for one of the others.
I think I'll go for whichever one survived its Constitution saving throw earlier.
Cool.
Get them all weak at once. That is a 14 to hit.
Does hit.
Okay, good. Phew. That'll be 15 slashing damage.
15 slashing damage. You just lop this one's head off.
Yay.
So now there are luckily only 6 of them going for Pete, who is still
15
paralyzed.
plus an extra 4, so even more.
Yeah, it's definitely dead.
Yeah.
So attack rolls against you, Pete, have advantage, and any attack that hits is a crit, as they just descend upon you. So let us roll.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
We'll just do them in bouts of 2. But it is 12 die 20 for 6 of these creatures, and they're all gonna just bite you. I think they've only got +2 to their bites, however, because that uses strength rather than dex. But it does more damage. So the first one scores a 7. The second one scores a crit. I'll write these down. A miss, a crit, an 18. Oh, just misses.
It's only the crit that hits me.
Nice.
Yeah, it is only a crit, and it was a crit anyway. Oh, what a waste! If they'd used their claws, so many more of them would have hit. Oh well, these are the breaks. Tried to do more damage. It is 4 die 6 11, 12, 13 points of a piercing damage.
I'll take it.
Honestly, not as bad as it could have been.
No,
Can't you uncanny dodge or?
not while I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're paralyzed, you're incapacitated, and incapacitated creatures can't take reactions.
That sucks.
Luckily, you don't need your reaction to evasion.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure there's a rule behind that. But anyway, yeah, just 13 points of slashing damage as it just chomps into your neck, and you can feel yet more poison enter your bloodstream. That is all the ghouls. That is all they've done. As Helvetica, it's your turn, and it's these ghouls have just begun devouring. You cannot see pretty much Pete at this point. It is just a flurry of undeath.
In that case,
Another bottle of water.
I'm sure Pete will be fine. Let's just say, "Hey, stop!" And we'll cast a cone of psychic breath over them.
Mm-hmm.
So each of them needs to make a dex saving throw.
A dex saving throw.
Yeah, Pete also, but
Yeah, I believe I
yeah.
automatically fail.
Yep.
Yeah. So paralyzed creatures automatically.
Unless
fail
I can
dex
angle it
save.
so that I'm
Yeah.
just going for their heads, because I assume Pete's on the floor near them. But yeah, D10 go.
So it is 6.
Can you say evasion doesn't take your reaction?
Plus, you
It
don't,
doesn't, but there's a thing. Hold on.
We're also only level 9 invasion is level 11, I believe.
No,
It's level 7.
you've got evasion. I do. Yeah.
I thought
So
Unless you're
plus-
multi-classed.
No.
So it's plus 2 to all these. So 19, 14, 10, 21, 14, 15.
It's DC 16, so so it's 13 on 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and then half 13, so 6 on 2 of them.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the DC?
16.
16. So succeeds.
So, what was the total
and
damage?
what's
So it's
that
13
one,
total.
16?
It's 2d10, but it rolled as 2 separate d10s.
Right.
And it's half, is it, for success?
And it's half for success, yeah.
So that one takes 6, so it's there. That one failed, so it's dead.
And I take 6 because of evasion.
Actually, evasion requires you to make, when an effect allows you to make a dex save, but you didn't make it, you automatically failed it. So you take the full 13.
Fair enough.
I have just looked up Crawford on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sadly,
Sorry, I've got
Makes
heals.
sense.
yeah, you're just lying there. You're paralyzed in place.
Mm-hmm.
You can't evade that. It's psychic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cone of psychic.
That one failed, so it's... Hold on, that succeeded, failed. That one failed, so it's also dead. That one succeeded, and it was at full, so it takes 6. So it's there. No, it's there. And that one failed, and that one failed, so they're both on single digits. So there are only... So you've taken out 2 of them in that breath.
Good.
And the other 4 look very badly damaged. As there are just ghouls on the floor surrounding Pete.
And Pete's blooded.
Pete also looks badly damaged. Yeah,
Pete's
of course.
blooded. Only just, but he is blooded.
Right. Okay. So that is Helvetica's turn. As Stu, your brother has been descended upon by ghouls and then attacked by Helvetica. Well, you don't know it. They've been breathed on by Helvetica.
Yeah. I am going to run up and to try and save my brother by making eyes at Helvetica as we go past. Just
Yeah.
Helvetica
You
shouts,
can do.
I was going to heal him later.
Sure you
you're
were.
5 foot, are you not? Helvetica. Actually, Pete, does Pete count
Yeah, I
for
was gonna
sneak
say,
attack? Or
technically I am.
He's, but he's
but if you're
he's not a threat because
incapacitated,
he's yeah.
yeah. But how far away is Helvetica?
I've not
Helvetica,
moved, so
you could have gone right up to the ghouls at this point if you wanted.
yeah. Let's say I did to try and get as many of them in as possible.
Perfect.
Then I'm going to
So-
try and green flame blade one so I can get damage on 2 of them because I don't think they're moving.
Excellent. Yes.
Okay, so that's a 28.
That kills
So-
one.
12 piercing, 4 radiant, 1 fire, 7 fire to another one, 14 sneak
That one
attack.
has as well. So you watch as you stab into one and twist, the one nearest Helvetica, in fact. You leap over their shoulder and just... And even though it's a piercing weapon, you leaping at such an angle that it goes in and you continue leaping and the sword twists and it doesn't take the thing's head off, but it does twist right around and collapse in a heap as fire engulfs its body. And as it collapses, it falls onto another one and fire engulfs that one as well. And as it goes... it collapses to the ground, dangerously near to where your brother is. The 2 of them now on fire, but they just in the foot deep of water. You kill 2 in 1 attack. There you go. That's what you want from your rogues.
And for Helvetica, you see my sword is actually a spine from a crystal dragon.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, as you know.
There are only 2 left. Pete, I'm afraid you're still paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of your turn, do you want to roll so that the ghouls don't have advantage on you?
17.
It's not a high DC. You just keep on rolling below 10.
Yeah.
You shake it off now. Seeing your brother leap to your defense sort of emboldens your spirit, and you just scan to the sky and reach out and grab your brother, and he pulls you to your feet as the ghouls attack. Now, the one they paralyzed is back up, and Helvetica did just take out 2 of them, but that one is weak. I'm going to roll an intelligence check. Now, they're undead, so it should be great. So I'm going to say a DC 12. If they score a DC 12, and they've got a -2, so if they score 14 here, they'll go for the weakened one. If they get less, they're going to mindlessly attack the thing that injured them. So with the -2, they do turn on Helvetica and just beat into you mercilessly.
Yeah.
2 attacks, both missing, and with a full round to go, and they're just ghouls. So, just describe, if you wish, if you would, how you just take these things out. Just a combination of fire and.
Yeah, I finally draw my sword, I think, and just slice.
So the other, is it just like you draw it slightly and put it back in, and just one suddenly just slices apart? It's so fast.
That's it.
From this paladin.
Helvetica is not dexterous enough to do that.
Mm.
But it'll be kind of a half, not really paying attention, just like sword out, slice, rushing over to Pete's to try and heal.
Yeah, as you fumble to take out your sword, it gets stuck, and you just accidentally decapitate one and just and put it back in. As the brothers team up and just rip one's arms off and beat it to death. And you've destroyed these ghouls now. They are all of them, as you look down at their bodies, the ones that are still intact, wearing an amulet, which, since one of you is a paladin, within 10 feet of you, it glows this black, sort of black and purplish. The gem in it glows this sort of black and purplish color.
Interesting. They're obviously animated by some foul magics. Points to amulets.
More importantly, gems for the bag. Keep the gems for later. Just pick them up with a sword and put them in.
So yeah, you can grab all 8 of these. Actually, I'm gonna roll going to roll to see if the ones that you hit with fire are destroyed. So, unfortunately, one was destroyed. It was cracked by the sheer amount of fire that overwhelmed it. But you do get 7 of these unidentified amulets.
Nice.
You don't know what they do until you identify them.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a later problem.
Yeah.
Brother, how are you feeling?
Not great.
Oh, cure wounds.
Oh, I've accidentally switched screens. There we go.
So, was there any reason you attacked my brother? I say with my sword still out.
I thought I could get rid of all of the ghouls at once and then heal him up later.
Yeah, but you hit me as well.
You were in the way.
I mean,
I would
fair.
make sure maybe you're not in the way for future. And I'm
Yes,
gonna wipe my sword off on one of your sleeves.
I kind of like being in the way. I'm a tank. And then just peer in the alleyway where these guys came from.
Yeah, it's a 30-foot by 20-foot room, and it stinks. And in here is just excrement on the walls and blood on the floor, and it looks like this was just a storing area, like just a pen, just a trap.
Okay.
And carved, written, daubed on the walls, in fact, is "ha ha 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 ha, got you," in Dwarvish, Deathix script.
Yeah.
For anyone who can speak that.
I've got Eyes of the Runekeeper. I can read all of it.
Perfect. You can see it's also Dwarvish.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, there isn't treasure here, really. This was
These
just a
ghouls
trap.
spoke Dwarvish.
Okay, so we don't open doors anymore.
No. That
We learn from this.
That or we knock first.
I do not have that spell.
No, I mean literally just going and knocking on the door.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
and if you hear ghoul, you turn away.
Yeah.
Yes, I will turn the next ghoul we see.
Honestly, you picked up on Pete and Stu being Rex kids a lot quicker than I was expecting.
I realised. You mentioned the copper, and I thought sigil, and it took a minute, and I'm like, oh fuck off! No, I really hope not. He wouldn't call his kids Stu or Pete just to make you aware.
We're adopted. We already had those names.
Adopted.
Yeah.
Stop playing adopted children of my characters.
He added the sneaky and the stealthy.
For branding purposes.
Yeah.
For branding, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Stealthy Stew tax to be bait by Gadocious.
To be honest, I was about.
Stop it.
I was gonna say that there's a little small emblem of a CF on Pete's.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're able to continue on your way up the stairs, and it just sort of twirls around. It's like 30-foot tall stairs. It's nice and dry, and it's a dry warmth now in this area. It's not like it's still humid, but it's a slightly drier warmth now that you're not standing in a foot deep of water anymore. And as you sort of pass through, there's a door at the top of this area. You put your ear to it. Definitely not any ghoul sounds. You knock on it. Definitely not any ghoul sounds. And you just easily pick the lock. You're both you've got 2 9th level rogues. Come on. And failing that, you've got a paladin. So you get through the door one way or another, quite frankly. And as you get through, you just pass through this door, and the room beyond is. Got it written down here. For some reason, I'm not on the right page. The room beyond is. Okay, we're just going to say.
Full of hero forged weapons, including the one we want.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Hooray. No. It is 20
We stab the
foot wide.
paladin and we leave him.
So you've entered through what is probably you've entered through a side, the side door here, by which I mean there's just a wall to your left, and it's 20 foot long, and it turns and it's a long corridor to your right. It is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 90 foot long, and at the far end of the corridor, in a similar manner, just not directly ahead as you look down this long corridor, but about 5 foot from the far end, and on the same wall that you're on, there is another door leading off back to. So you've entered from the north. There's a corridor leading that way, and there's another door leading north again, about 80 foot away, but the room itself is 90 foot long. And in it is well, there's a couple of things. It's both empty and full, quite frankly. Yeah.
It's suspiciously full.
Yeah. So the path to the west is broken by a sizable gap, and you can see the glint of metal at the bottom of the opening. The floor beyond that metal glinting gap has a very silvery sheen, like a high polished sheen. In the distance, you can see another hole, beyond which is a patch of floor which looks much more roughly carved that adjoins the western wall. Each of these pits are the entire width of the room, 5 foot wide, 10 foot deep, and at the bottom of them, of course, is the glint of metal. What would you like to do?
Holes.
Yeah. So there's only one way on, basically, is the far end of this corridor, beyond the shiny floor and the shiny, glinting metal pits is a door. So that's the only way on.
Not sure if I like the looks of these, brother.
No. How close can we get to these shiny patches, like the shiny floor patches? They look quite slidey.
So as you can shuffle up to the edge of the pit, and as you look down, you see, it's inside is the bottom of the pit, which is the full width of the room, the full width of the corridor rather, it's lined with rusty looking, almost razor sharp razor like blades, just jutting out every couple of inches from the floor, and you reckon it would be quite painful if you were to fall in there. The sheening area between this pit and the one 70 feet away is the floor and the walls and the ceiling look like they've been waxed. They look incredibly shiny. Like they've been polished to this just like brand new polished car kind of thing. It's that shiny.
I'm just going to grab like a random item from my bag and just throw it over to see how it slides when it lands. Like, is it like unnaturally slidey, or is it just like a little bit slidey?
So what do you pull out? Just it's like a ball or like a sack? You've got a bedroll?
Weirdly enough, I have 2 crowbars, so I'm just going to hook one crowbar.
Cool.
A naturally unslidey object.
Yeah. So and it's only a 5 foot wide gap, this pit. So you can easily leap across it. You just sort of, you only need to give it a slight shove, and as it lands, like a billiard ball, like a magnetically sealed thing, it just pings around the place until it just lands and slides, just instantly, just as fast as you can imagine, and lands in the pit on the far side.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm I'm looking at
It's
Helvetica.
It's a bit.
Shall we
it's a bit
test?
shaking to see that. Yeah.
Shall we test if it's a metal thing or whether it's just anything thing? Has anything got anything that isn't metal we can just chuck over?
Things that aren't metal.
I have a block of incense. Let's use that.
You can. Yeah.
Then sounds good.
Yeah.
Uh,
You drop the block of incense on this silvery floor, and it's just as soon as it alights on the surface, it just moves in the direction of its horizontal impetus and just glides, sliding straight into the what you imagine is an identical pit to the one in front of you, another razor pit.
But it doesn't shake you up like a martini.
Well, you
just
drop
go.
yours.
"Ooh."
Yeah, you dropped yours, so it was like,
Ooh.
and then slid. So if you get down and just sort of shove it, it's almost like a curling rink, like an ice curling rink.
Okay.
But yeah, the floor is lined with this stuff, the walls and the ceiling. For you kids with slippers of spider climbing out.
Mhm. Does anybody have a plan? Because I have a bad plan.
I mean,
It's
Tell me your bad plan, wise one.
well, I'm not saying this will work, but Helvetica, you're quite strong, aren't you?
Yes.
So if I gave you something to throw as hard as you can at the floor, say a bag of ball bearings, do we think that potentially the resulting ricochet may cause enough damage that it might slow us down if we jump over? Like, I'm not saying it's going to stop us,
I
but
mean-
it may go from a being horrendous
There's-
forward to
There's then the
slightly
danger of
forward.
being pierced by a bunch of ball bearings, though.
I mean,
It's like,
I've dropped a
So again-
bag
Shot by
bag
airsoft.
of ball bearings on a metal table before. It has left dents. So, if you like lob a handful of ball bearings down on the ground, it might cause a bunch of little dents in the thing, make it easier to walk across.
This is what I'm thinking. So, how far away is
Helvetica thinks it's a good idea.
yeah,
Ali does
can
not.
we get around the corner and just chuck the bag of ball bearings in?
You can head out the door the way you can head out the door the way you came. Yeah, for sure.
So, I am more than happy to sacrifice my bag of ball bearings, or failing that, I can, mage hand up to the ceiling and just shake them out like that. But I think having a bit of throwing power behind
Yeet
them,
it at the floor.
yeah. But Stuart is not a strong boy. So this is why it might have to be whoever's the strongest, but whoever is the strongest may also get, shot multiple times with 1,000 ball bearings.
I've got a shield. I can get that out.
Okay, so do you want to give this bad idea a try?
I mean, you can absolutely try it.
Helvetica sees nothing wrong with this plan.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
Nope.
I am going to go down the corridor further than you would expect and just give big thumbs up and a mage hand thumb up as well.
I mean, Pete is literally just right around the corner. He's got his head out, just staring.
Are you full rogue?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So the rogue mage hand is invisible. So
I think you can make it visible if you want
maybe.
to.
I
just like the idea of there's a thumbs up here. It's just not visible.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will make this terrible decision.
All right.
So shield out,
thumbs
ready
up.
to like fully Captain America it.
All right. Yeah. Sure. Roll me an athletics check to see how yeah. How,
Bad of an idea.
yeah.
That's a 20 dirty.
You toss that bag of ball bearings, and they begin. Do you just chuck them down at the ground, throw them at one of the walls? Or do you just hurl it as far as you can at the opposite wall?
I'm hurling it straight down at the middle.
Okay. Make me a dexterity save, please.
Okay.
You just like one of those exploding cracker things. You just
Yeah.
and it just except this time it explodes in 1,000 ball bearings.
Yep.
So you need to roll me a DC 1000 dex save. So
Okay.
you get hit by 904 ball bearings. But luckily you're wearing full plates, so it only does. TR, roll me a D20, please.
That one, please.
Your ball bearings.
Oh, 3 is pretty good.
3. You take 3 points of piercing damage as one of them just strikes you in the cheek, and there's a sizable lump there now. So you're not looking so good. Yeah, you've definitely knocked a tooth loose. I'll say that much.
From the back. Oh.
How does it look?
It looks amazing. It looks spectacular, and the sound is deafening. So the rest of you down the corridor, you not only now hear the thrumming of the underground, whatever it is, you also hear as if of machine gun fire just going off 20 feet from you. And I need a Constitution saving throw from Helvetica as well, please.
In theory, Helvetica's good at these.
In theory, yeah.
12. Okay.
12 is not enough. You are deafened. Let's roll a d10. You're deafened for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
All
deafened
you hear
isn't a disease.
It is just a ringing. That's all you can hear right now. Is just a constant thrumming.
So
except you swear you can hear a dwarf somewhere going, "What the fuck is going on in here?" What are they doing? Unfortunately, as the last of the ball bearings begins to slow down, they just roll towards the far end of this room, and it leaves the brick pretty impervious.
So there's no change to the surfaces, these like bouncy surfaces at all. They are still pristine.
No change whatsoever, I'm afraid.
So you two will
But it
just
was a
hear
good
then.
plan.
You
I'll give
still
you a
hear
destiny point for that because that was enjoyable.
drive a flyover.
I mean, I've got a rope.
As you think this, and you just sort of look around the room, there is a quite rusty looking ring on the wall directly behind you, and you glance with your past perception across the way. It is 90 foot. Someone is going to have to go across there, but there are matching rusty rings right in the midway point on the opposite wall from this place.
I mean,
Definitely
my
not.
rope's only 50 foot long, so it won't reach.
Yeah. Be a couple of knockdown checks.
I'm very strong and can fly, but can't really articulate this with missing tooth.
Or you could just jump on the slidey floor and hope for the best.
Attempt not to fall in, yeah.
Attempt not to fall in the spike pit.
I'm going to say if you can fly, then I will take a Paladin Express budget airline ticket, if you please.
It was once for a long rest, so no idea how we're getting out again, but you know.
I mean, there might be another way out.
Mm-hmm. There could be.
So Helvetica will say something dramatic that doesn't quite make sense because their mouth is still swollen
Mhm.
and will sprout wings.
Yep,
Oh, my God.
the magical wings sprout from your back, and they glimmer there, and they look magnificent.
Yes.
Do you, Stu, rather, do you jump on their back, or what? What do you do? You just begin flapping into
Ooh.
midair and ready to fly.
I think because he's wearing plate, I'm koalaing, so like one hand in one side of the breast plate, one in the other, and then legs around the middle, like face to face.
Face to face. Okay,
Oh yeah,
good to know.
the
I'm
worst
Dragonborn,
way
it
to
is a
fly.
snout. So,
Yeah, face to snout. Okay, good to know. Very good to
Can
know.
I give you
Give you an art everywhere.
yeah? If I give you one end of the rope, I'll hold the other, and you pull me along the sliding floor. So sort of yep,
Dragonborn jet ski.
yep. Dragon Ball Jet Ski.
I'll
Waterboard.
tie the rope around
Yep.
around the middle of me.
And then hopefully, as you're flying across the pit, if I jump at the right time, I should be able to go over.
You'll at least be saved, yeah.
The pits aren't that wide. I reckon you could just jump over them anyway with good
Yeah,
decks.
it's just a 5 foot wide pit.
Hmm.
You could just leap. All right, so you take flight and sort of flapping forwards, face to face with Sneaky Pete. It is about 15, 20 feet sort of run up you can do, and you do so, and you just begin flapping. And as you pass over the pit, holding the rope, you flap. And Pete, have you tied the rope to yourself, or are you just holding on to it?
I'm just holding it.
Okay. You watch as the rope gradually begins to tighten up as you fly, and as you pass over the pit, Pete, you notice because Helvetica and Stu is looking directly at Helvetica. Helvetica is looking ahead, so doesn't see this as runes along the width of the walls and the ceiling around the pits begin to flash, and the wings disappear. And Helvetica, you land full body
Full
on
body
Stu,
messages in.
and you begin sliding straight ahead. Pete, the rope is beginning to tighten still. Do you want to keep hold of this and leap and follow this farce? Because you might still, I mean, you're being pulled and you might be able to leap. Who knows? I'll tell you what you could do is make a leap for them and surf
And ride the pile of
and
party
ride
members.
them, and I will allow a deck save if you want to ride atop the Dragonborn that is currently crushing your brother.
I mean,
Fucking hell.
yeah, Pete's not the brightest, so he probably wouldn't have let go of the rope. So he would have just been dragged in.
Yeah. Okay, so you're dragged. Rope tightens to its fullest extent. They're 50 foot away. You get jerked forwards. Your ankle gets caught on the first pit and twists painfully as you're just sliding after this farce of people. It's very Home Alone. My God. The two of you in front. I'm afraid there is no save. Stu, you feel the ground beneath you being very slidey, and then it just gives way like the end of a water slide, and suddenly I'm like just the worst spikes in the world, the worst trap in the world. You just
Misty
land.
step. I Misty step.
Perfect. As you feel the ground below you disappear, and a massive dragonborn begin to cascade on top of you, and you know spikes coming up below you. Misty step, and you arrive, and Pete, you see your brother materialize by that ring pull, just sort of holding for dear life as your dragonborn friend
Attached to me. I had the rope around tied around me, so should help my brother.
It might do, but it's 50 foot long, and you're 15 feet from. You could rapidly try, but
I don't believe the rope would go with you.
Oh, in that case, you should have to luck.
Yep. Who knows? Well, I'll roll for it. Why
My
not?
intent is to just deal with this at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing much you can do right now but deal with it. D20. Does the rope go with you? That's favourable for you. The rope does come with you. However, as Helvetica, you slam into the ground and you feel razor sharp spikes pierce into your body. Pete, the rope is now being held by Stu at the far end of the pit, who can only watch as you go sliding forward and then fall into the pit. There's very little that can be done. It's a 50-foot long rope, and you're holding the end of it, and you fall in. Make me a dex save. We'll see if you can land on Helvetica.
I was going to say, would I have not been able to, like, as my original plan, as I'm getting close to the pit, just try and jump over?
It is that slidey. It is a magical slidey nature. There is no purchase, and
Right.
you literally cannot find purchase enough to jump. So dex save.
We are literally
to possibly
we are
land on
oh
Helvetica.
god, we are literally Junior's comedy henchmen.
Yeah, basically.
Oh god, is this a job interview for Junior?
Yeah,
Is this what it is?
I will say you can just twist enough to land on Helvetica, but Helvetica will take the damage that she takes, and also what you would take as well. Are you
in
fine
theory
with
a
that, or
tank.
do you want to take the damage?
I'll take it. It's too funny.
Right,
it's too funny. It is too funny.
Yeah, I mean, from Pete's perspective, Helvetica's just lying on top of the spikes. He doesn't know that he's been pierced by them.
So
maybe they didn't pierce the armor.
Yeah.
Yet.
It's not as much as you think it is. It's just a small amount of spikes. It's 11 points of piercing damage.
Each or total?
In total. When you land, it's 8 points, and when Pete lands on top of you, it's another 3 points as the blades sink deeper into your flesh.
Okay.
However, I do need I need a Constitution save with disadvantage. I'm afraid.
Is this against tetanus?
No, it's against super tetanus.
I'm immune to disease.
It is a disease.
I am resisting the urge to jump on the back of Helvetica. Shoot from 10 foot up.
Yeah. A creature that contracts the disease of super tetanus is racked with pain. Yeah. Yeah. So you feel your joints begin to stiffen. It is a disease. Fuck. Contract a disease. You're immune to disease. Fucking paladin. Of course it would happen to paladin. Oh, that's outstanding. I love it. That's perfect. You fall in a pit, jagged spikes. Your cushion teleports away. Another half orc lands on top of you, and you just feel lockjaw beginning to happen, and then you're like,
No.
So you're 3 levels of paladin.
3 warlock, 6 paladin. Yeah.
6 paladin. Okay. All right. We go for the level 7 auras.
No.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted the level 3 Pact of the Tome.
So these pits are only 10 foot deep. You're able to climb out with the use of the rope. There we go, and that's it. You managed to make
but
it
you
out.
survived.
Yep.
Congratulations, friends.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh,
it actually went in you. All right, didn't realise.
There's definitely a limp going on, but you're at the other side. Hooray! There is just the one.
This is just
door.
getting more and more wounds.
Imagine your armor though has these really cool kind of patterns on it now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been burnt, bludgeoned, stabbed.
Burnt, beaten, bludgeoned. Almost attacked
what's left
by a
until I get the
sphinx.
full Rasputin?
Yeah. Electrocuted.
Thrown in the river.
Yeah. Mauled by ghouls.
I mean, I took my armor off to swim across the river.
We could have drowned you, that's true.
So there is just the door leading out of this area. You head out and along a 30-foot corridor, and now you're in at a T-junction. Directly behind you is the corridor that leads back to the slidey room. To your right is 20 foot of corridor and then another door. To your left is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet of corridor that ends in a door. But again, with your passive perception of 21 Pete, about 20 foot along the left-hand corridor is just a thin seam, just a crack in the wall that you reckon is, well, it's very well hidden to everyone except your roguish nature.
It's another ghoul room.
Yeah, it is. No, it's not. What are you talking about? It's just another ghoul room? Fuck, we're so foolish as to do the same trap twice, would it? But yes, so 80-foot long corridor, doors at either end. You are only 20 foot away from the one to the north, and you're approaching from the east. And 20 foot south and then west is a secret door. What would you like to do?
How are you both doing for health?
I'm okay. I'm over half.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
over half.
Would a short rest help you both?
Yes.
Probably yes.
Also, it would get me 2 spell slots back.
I can do something that would protect us for a short rest,
Okay.
but it is my only other second level spell. So if you both need some health, we will do it this way.
I reckon.
I mean,
We haven't found anything here. This is in character. We haven't found anything here that we didn't open a door on, so
We should be safe.
I say all of the foul dwarves are guarding their treasure hoard.
Okay, brother. What do you say? Because your opinion is more important. Rather than, and I'm pointing out to the front of your armor, which is stabbed, burnt, and divoted.
I mean, yeah, like what the paladin said, we've not come across anything that we didn't open the door on. Should be fairly safe.
Okay, I'm just going to write down the time and the place that you said this. Should be relatively safe, and put it away. Then we continue onwards.
We can
So you're
take-
not taking a short
I
rest?
said relatively safe to
take a
sit
short
and
rest,
do a
yeah.
short rest without bad things happening.
Short rest is in the corridor, protected short rest.
Just
All right.
just a basic short rest.
It's a standard.
How does your do you cast rope trick or?
No, because we're just doing one in the corridor.
All right. Well,
I mean, we
roll
should
a
be able to
D20.
see if something comes from either end.
I mean, one way is the room of slippiness, and the other way.
Yeah, so things should only come from one
Ooh.
direction,
Yeah.
In theory.
in theory.
Does anyone have blind sight?
No.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure no.
No, I've only just. I've got dark vision. That's about it.
Good to know. Can anyone be surprised?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it is invisible. Oh, even worse. Goodness sake. So, everyone with a passive perception of 14 or above, you hear the wind whistling. Wind whistling? That's unusual. Through the secret door. As you are about, let me roll a d6 to see what percentage of your hour you're through. But 20 minutes into your short rest, you hear the wind whistling through the crack there. And then, do either of you speak Primordial?
Nope.
No, Abyssal, Infernal, and Goblin.
Call yourselves brags, kids. He would have educated you better than that. That's how I know. Yes, so the two of you do hear this sort of wispy voice and ever so faint footsteps, but begin to approach you. Except you don't see anyone. You just hear this wispy, breathless voice approaching. It's 10 feet away from you now. Is there anything either of you wish to do?
I would just.
Helvetica looks completely nonplussed.
Helvetica's just pulled out a book and is reading.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pete would draw out his short sword and his rapier, just sort of nonchalantly scratching his back with his rapier, and just his short sword in his other hand.
Well, it doesn't know it's not being stealthy. So.
Stu would be staring at the ground to see if there's any dust that's coming up from footsteps or anything like that.
Ooh. It's 14 stealth and your passive of investigation of 16. There isn't any dust that's being put up, but in fact you can see the dust is being cleared away as it walks. It's definitely in a sort of footprint sort of shape almost, but it's like it's being vacuumed up in the shape of, and we'll say that's how comes you can see it. As the dust is being vacuumed up, it just sort of swirls around this almost shapeless, invisible body before being jettisoned sort of out the back into midair. Just ever so slight shimmering of dust that sort of backlights this creature that's approaching Helvetica from behind.
Gonna stand up and stretch, catch Pete's eye, and then just leap forward. You know, like a fencing, like long stretch to stab into it.
I'd
I
probably
will
do
allow
the same as well. Because
I will allow that to be a surprise round.
Yeah, my passive investigation is 19 as well. So
Yeah, it's
perfect.
better.
So as Helvetica, the rogues leap over you, combining. Get your surprise attacks off. It was not expecting this. So yeah, roll with advantage. I'll say. Oh shit, rogues.
Do we shout Wonder Twins activate?
Mm.
And hey,
now it is
booming blade, baby.
It is invisible, so it would be the first roll technically. So it's both with advantage from surprise, but also it's invisible, so it'd be disadvantage. So the first roll, but luckily it's a 21, and a 21 does hit. The booming blade. It is not resistant to thunder. Wonderful. And a crit. Hey, you love to see.
Oh, Mr. Stabby.
We love you, Mr. Stabby. Mr. Stabs. Aye. That's deeply ingrained. Just. So. The 3 points plus. So TR, how much of that does it take? I mean, it's going to take it all.
35 now, 11 if it moves.
So 35, 46 points in total, plus another 43. So 89 points. 104, 19.
Imagine both of our things just touch in the middle. Just.
This thing's not unintelligent. Yeah, but it's compelled to attack you. So yeah, we'll see if it can get a hit off before you can attack it again. So we'll get very quickly an initiative round. This thing is quite dexterous, so let us see. It all falls down to the dice. Well, said the rocking chair. That is just a 10 for it. 7, 10, 14 for Stu, Pete goes first, obviously. And are you gonna roll, Ali?
Oh yeah, so I figured
Just
since
sitting
they,
there.
I figured these two had it handled.
Yeah. So Pete and Stu, you can just attack it again. You don't have surprise. So one of you could, in theory, make a perception check. I mean, actually, it's not moved. You can attack with disadvantage. It's Pete first and then Stu.
Mm-hmm.
What do you wish to do?
So Pete is gonna attack at disadvantage.
All right. And I will say this: it's looking pretty weak. Great wisps of air and dust have just flown away, and the whistling has gotten significantly decreased by a good 80%.
So, first attack with Mr. Stabby. Disadvantage.
Good grief.
Well, oh, you get savage attack critical. Yeah. Okay, so oh my gosh. So even though you don't get sneak attack, even though you don't get it,
why do I not? It had because disadvantage, yeah.
Yeah, disadvantage. The 6 plus the 6 from piercing and the 7 from savage attacker. How do you want to finish this creature that you can't even see? How do you want to finish it off? It's incredible.
So, essentially, Pete is going to draw back the rapier and then just stab it again.
Yeah, and you just fall directly through it as the wind, there's an ever so slight wind force against you, and you just fall right through it, and this thing dissipates completely as you just hear a language you don't understand, primordial, like as the invisible stalker is destroyed.
Is there any body
very
left,
quickly,
or?
very immediately? There is no body left. There's nothing left at all.
Pete's going to turn to Stu and go, "What the hell was that?"
Very impressive.
Some kind of wind.
Helvetica hasn't even noticed.
Helvetica, as you glance up to see why they've moved around, and you just see them in battle pose. Go back to your book.
Yeah.
You noticed absolutely nothing. You noticed them leaping over you, but absolutely not. You thought it could have been some sort of acrobatic display. Okay. The rest of the hour goes without any incident whatsoever. No other random encounters are triggered.
I'm just amazed at the 3 crits in a row.
Yeah. So invisible stalkers are CR6, just so you're aware, with 104 hit points.
We took it out.
Oh, you love to see it.
You really do. That was something special. Congrats, you guys. And you managed to finish your short rest. Well done.
Cool. All right, let's do some health points.
Yeah. Random encounters. Sometimes they're quite fun. Sometimes they're just completely. I mean, you could have had. I will tell you this because you're not getting another short rest. You could have had wights or ogres or gargoyles, or 5 bugbears, but no, 1 invisible stalker, and you just got it in 1. You love to see it.
I mean, we might take another short rest. I've still got a rope trick.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it comes out.
I forced you to take a short rest.
Mm-hmm. So that thing, you are aware, came out of the crack in the secret wall. So you can head, if you wish, to the north. So you're pretty much still at this T-junction. You can head to the north, 20 feet, south, 60 feet through the secret. You know where it is, and that there are invisible air elementals coming through it to attack you. But it's up to you.
Pete's going to knock on the door.
On the secret door? On the northern door? The southern door?
On the secret door.
Secret door? You hear nothing in return.
I don't think there's any ghouls behind this one. And he's going to try see if the latch is in the same place.
Why not? Well, yeah, we'll say it is in the same place, actually.
Cool. And just flick it and push the door open.
Yeah, roll me a strength check.
Hmm. 15 do anything?
No, actually. It does not open. As you go to push it, you feel warmth on your hand, and as you look at it, you see a crest of a knight, maybe? A noble house?
So he just looks at each hand, turns around, shows the others, and goes, "Recognise this?"
It would be a history check. If anyone wants to roll that, you don't have to.
My history.
I'm not good in history, but it is my brother, so I will try.
I mean,
16.
20.
you're better than me. My history is a flat 0.
With the 20, Helvetica, you recognise this. This it's definitely a knight. And in fact, you've been reading about knights of all sorts in these realms. There was a knight who was a nobleman who a half elf that came from Highgarden, and then travelled around much like yourselves, adventurers, and then wound up in Bloodraven and was corrupted by the influence there and worked his way through the pits, devouring and destroying and just killing until he was a knight no longer, but a monster. Not a vampire, not a werewolf, not any kind of demonic creature, but just a man who had been corrupted by power and greed and money, basically.
It is the emblem of a great tyrant monster thing.
You would recognize it. I'll say, actually, with a 20, you know his name. It's Sir Bluto Sans Pete.
Sir Bluto. Sans Peak?
Sans Pete.
Sans Pete. Okay. I will share that.
So, I shrug like,
Yeah. Some guy. He's just some guy.
Okay.
Some dude couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean you're now Sir
Clearly
Bluto?
the leader of these foul dwarves.
Right. Anyway, I can open this door. Do you want to try?
I mean, you've always been stronger than me, brother. I don't think I'll be able to.
To be honest, I was talking to Helvetica, so sorry.
Yeah.
I look sad in the corner.
Have you tried pulling it?
Well, no, doors are push. You push doors.
It's a hidden door. Helvetica can't grab it. But we'll try to push it.
Pushes open. As you go to open it, your hand returns the same symbol.
Now I have one too. Quickly.
It quickly fades.
Oh. All three at once, then we can do a cool high five.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's a good idea if we all have a spooky symbol on us.
I mean, alright.
Fair enough.
I mean, brother, I would follow you anywhere, but it feels a bit culty.
I mean, yeah.
I swear. So anything about cults?
I mean, do you remember that little kobold thing that kept running around, Dad?
Yes.
Yeah, it does kind of remind me of that.
Yeah. Well, then he start a cult eventually.
I think so. Yeah.
Like all kobolds do.
At least he claimed that Dad was his god or something.
Or he's a cult.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue. If you can't open the door, we just move on.
Mm-hmm. Should we go
North or south?
left?
You had gone south by 20 foot to investigate the secret door. You can keep on heading south. As you go down, you head on your way. This door is not locked, but it does. It is jammed. It is much more. Not the amazing jam. No. It's the door is warped. This wooden door is warped. You could definitely put your shoulder against it, but as you turn the handle, definitely turning, it's just unlocked. The heat coming from behind this door is yet more acrid, humid air. And you can hear the sounds of splashing beyond, in fact, those of you with a passive perception above 7.
What's the door made out of?
Wood.
Wood.
Yeah. Thick wood, but it's been warped. It's fully filling the entire door frame.
Yeah. You can try shoulder it.
Yeah, roll me a strength check. Layer of invisible stalker.
Nah. 12.
Ah, 12. You take a 5-foot run up, and no, that didn't feel so good. You take no damage this time.
Let's go put her hand on Pete's shoulder and say, please, I'm good for some things.
Fair enough.
And we'll do the same.
Yeah, roll me a strength check.
Conga line up behind Helvetica.
Slightly worse, 14.
Yeah. Yeah, as you go in. Oh no. Yeah, you've janked up your shoulder. Oh god.
My shoulders are.
no. Yeah. Your next ability check is made with disadvantage.
Okay. Okay, this door is cursed.
That uses strength or dex.
Damn mithril.
And then the rogue with the crowbar walks up.
But speaking of cursed, I forgot I could do this.
Yeah, Pete's got a crowbar in his bag as well. So.
Tiara, do you want to try?
I loosened it up a bit there and there. And I cast guidance because I forgot I had guidance.
Yeah. If you want to try, Tiara, you're more than welcome with your crowbar.
Can I take a look at the door to see if there's any weak points on the door to shove the crowbar in to overcome the warping?
Roll and perception check.
Oh yes.
100%. You know exactly where to put your crowbar.
Oh.
I will say, in fact, with that, you just go step aside, and the door just falls flat open, breaking off its hinges, and you just take a step back and. Like
brother,
that guy
this is why
who does the memes. You just do that.
This is why brain overborn sometimes, brother. You see?
Mm-hmm.
We loosened it.
Two, you're just going. Yes, and actually, as you step through, with all the fun, you step through, and you're looking out and down into an enormous chamber. It is, 50, 100 foot wide.
Nope.
It's 100 foot wide. It's too wide to speak.
What happened?
We lost you.
You're sideways.
Yeah. This room is 100 foot wide and 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And what's going on with my computer here? 100 foot, 100 foot wide, 140 foot long. And it's just a massive place. Sorry, I've lost all my description notes.
Yeah.
This is so annoying. Why don't we use this
Here's to Vector.
to have a quick bio break, and we'll be right back in 3 minutes, folks.
No worries.
Dun,
Hang on.
Shuffle off the screen. We'll be right back. Be right back. We'll be right back. Yeah. While we readjust things. Apologies. Kobolds have sabotaged our equipment. We'll be right back.
It have returned.
Bloody Dropbox. Bloody computer. You know what? Yeah, computer.
Closed everything for you.
Yeah, it all just crashed. Everything just crashed.
Do you have another locate object on you?
Yes, I do. I've got many of them. By many of them, I've got 2 Warlock spell slots and 2 Paladin spell slots. I can use to cast it.
And you would have got your spells back on the short rest,
Yep.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, so I was using
So
the Warlock spell slots first. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, everything is back and should not crash again. Will it, Chrome? That's what I get for bad mouthing Jeff Bezos. He's everywhere. Okay, so yes, this room itself is 100 foot wide, 120, 130 feet long. You can't tell. It extends out into the darkness, or the dim light rather. But you're looking out and down into an enormous chamber. And is Ali back yet?
I think so.
We'll wait for Helvetica to return.
There we go. I'm here. Sorry.
Oh,
There we go.
hello. Yes, perfect. So Helvetica, you recognize this room, in fact. This enormous chamber is defined by terraced steps that ring the entire area and descend towards a central enclosure. So a few feet, so you're entering from the north, a few feet south of the door, water just laps at the edge of the stone floor like a swimming pool. Looking to the side, you can see that the ring of the terrace that lies beyond is a 10-foot deep ring of water held in by a nearly transparent wall. Possibly a wall of force, maybe glass, you can't tell from this distance, but another of these watery steps in the terrace is somewhat lower than the first, and at the level between these aquariums, the terrace steps are dry, but the area is still enclosed with a glassy wall like the others.
Okay.
Creature-wise, you can't tell from here, but I mean, maybe is that a scorpion there in that dry area? And then as you look further down, you think you can make out a statue right in the center, right at the base of this pit, but it's almost like a really wide swimming pool, and then below that just a pit of dry desert, and then below that yet another pit. And you can make out shapes in the water, rocks, and algae, and flora and fauna of all. It's a pretty amazing bit of technology, a bit of achievement. I will tell you, each tier in the room is 10 foot in depth and width. Two of the levels filled with water. Yes.
What have these foul beings done? They've kidnapped lots of flora and fauna.
I mean, it could just be a zoo.
Yeah, it could be.
A zoo.
Yeah, they have them in other places, lots of animals, put them in one place.
Oh, a farm, yes.
Kind of like that, but they don't usually kill the animals or take their milk or eggs or anything like that. They usually just.
Oh, a bad farm, okay.
Well, they charge people to come in and look at them.
Like an exotic farm, maybe.
Ah. Helvetika's nodding as if she gets it, but she really doesn't.
Okay. Use your spooky magic. Find it for us.
Okay. Locate objects again.
You, yeah, I'll have you roll again. Another spellcasting check, please.
Oh god.
You can do that from your sheet.
Can you just base spellcasting?
Yeah, if you go to the spell tab, there'll be your spellcast modifier.
Okay. Well. It's 11.
Oh well. You reach out and you once again see that water plunging towards you. You recognize the room as the one that you're in. You can see yourself falling down to the center of this inverted ziggurat, this inverted pyramid. Right at the base, you can vaguely make out the shape of a statue, a draconic statue. And behind it, a door. As you go to push open the door, suddenly your vision comes back into yourself.
Okay.
And as you look down into the heart of this thing, you can vaguely make out the shape of a door at the bottom of this chamber.
Our quarry lies below, behind that incredibly handsome statue.
Okay.
I look around for a half-orc statue.
One that's in a certain pose.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the other statue then.
Yes, that's one.
Right at the bottom of this pit. So you need to go through one aquarium, through one dry terrarium, another aquarium, and then you'd arrive there.
I no longer have fly.
So
Oh dear.
I was going to say if it's straight down, just jump down, but that's probably...
No.
Is that 30 feet across, 30 feet down, did you say?
Yeah, so there's a 10-foot wide aquarium, and then below that, a 20-foot drop into a 10-foot wide terrarium. and then below that, another 10-foot drop to an aquarium, and then another 20-foot drop into the dry space, essentially. But each area is covered with glass walls.
And the glass walls go all the way up?
No, they only go up to enclose their own particular enclosure.
Is the top of the aquarium sealed, or is it open?
It's open. You could just dive right into the water there. If you want.
It's just getting out without flooding the place.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Are we going to try and do this, softly in and out, or are we going to, just go for it?
I mean, we're not called sneaky and stealthy for no reason, are we?
Well, if you would like to be stealthy, I have something I could do to assist.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Well, I don't want to reveal it too soon, but I can make myself incredibly small. And easy to carry.
Or easy to throw.
Also that.
How small? Just because I'm interested. How small?
Helvetica will pull out the book she was reading earlier. About this big.
Ah.
I mean, so you'd be able to fit in a bag of holding then?
Yes. I'm sure it's fine.
I mean, you've got about 10 minutes worth of air in there, so...
Would you have more because you were so small?
Probably.
It just says that you can breathe for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's not get into the carrying air capacity of a parallel dimension.
I'm going to drop out a card to say, I go into an extra dimensional space held within the book.
Oh, extra dimensional space?
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Inside an extra dimensional space?
Essentially, it's a genie's lamp in the book.
Does anyone get close to the water's edge and have a look down, maybe, or try and gauge a path?
I'd probably get close enough to work out how far down it was.
All right.
Looking to see if there's a pathway down, because we are rogues and we should be reasonably good at this.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking as a rogue who's not got acrobatics or athletics.
Oh, nice. Both of you roll me insight checks, please.
Insight.
As you both sort of stand at the sort of water's edge, trying to gauge your way down and just sort of looking, we could go, what if we smash the glass and this sort of thing, this, that, and the other. And then as Helvetica, as you go there and you just sort of gaze into the depths, try and see how far down it is.
So it's a 21 for me.
Suddenly you see a shape shifting in the water, and a giant claw from a even gianter lobster comes out and goes to grab you with a 24.
24 hits.
And begins to pull you under. Can you make me an athletics check, please?
Okay.
As you take, first of all, 10 points of piercing damage as it latches onto your leg and begins to pull you towards the water's edge.
Yep.
Back to the 21 sneaky peek.
That's a 14.
Yeah. As you fall prone and begin to just claw towards your allies, you both see this occur. Helvetica has been grabbed by a giant lobster in one of these tanks and is being pulled towards the water's edge. She's, with a 14, I'll say you're gripping onto the edge. You got one more chance. Make me a strength saving throw.
Okay.
What do you two wish to do?
I'm going to try and stab the claw.
Yeah, go for it.
Stabbing the claw, I'd be trying to yank him out.
That's 21.
21. So yeah, you're holding on. We'll say it needs to make a fresh athletics check. So it's maintaining its grip on you with a 21 as well. So you're just holding on, and you feel your arm, your shoulder from earlier that hit against the door just begin to twinge and tighten as your grip begins to loosen. As simultaneously behind you, you hear a sort of shriek in the water as toothpick is jabbed into the shell of this thing and twisted.
Like the middle bit of the claw.
Yeah.
So like that bit of the yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna make a con save. 14 is not. That's a lot of damage. It's a shitload of damage. Yeah, the claw retracts. You're now hanging on the edge of the water, though. Very quickly, Sneaky Pete pulls you back onto dry land, and you back away 10 feet. But you see the water now has begun to, on the top level, has begun to churn and roil as the things in there are not happy now. Bit of time. Put a bit of a time limit on it.
That's fine.
Okay, so they're not just lovely aquariums.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going to draw out rapier.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to draw his short sword at the moment, but because he wants to keep a hand free. So, what would I've seen or gotten with my 21 insight then?
Now, with your 21 insight, you could see at the base here, you could probably, your 21 insight, the door is directly behind the dragon. The dragon statue is affixed to the ground. Its horns jut up towards the top of the bottom aquarium level. If you were to be really dexterous about it, you could probably hook on a rope or a zip line, and you could skip certainly the first 2 levels if you held on strength wise enough, if you rolled high enough. You could possibly even skip right past the final aquarium. Mm-hmm. Things inside might get a snap at you as you passed over, but you would definitely be able to skip over the first 2 aquarii.
Cool.
That seems probably the safest route down. There's certainly no way to fire there's not like a thing you can winch yourself down from above, aside from swimming across or breaking the glass is another way to go. I'll say that you recognize that with a 21, but you don't see where it would drain to except through the door. Yeah. And if there's treasure in there,
Pete's gonna hold out his rope, expecting his brother's invisible hand to grab it and take it and try to hook it onto the thing.
Mm-hmm.
How far is it though?
If it's
if it's more than 30 feet.
But your hand should be able to then lasso it.
Then it should be.
If it's close enough, would still have the same dex as you, especially with the arcane trickster stuff.
It's 50 foot ahead. It's 50 foot ahead and 10, 20, 30, 40 foot deep.
So we'd need to tie a couple ropes together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll say with your sleight of hand, you're easily able to do that. Because Pete, you have both sleight of hand and wisdom, which is the not tying check. Wisdom, sleight of hand. And there are 2 of you, 2 rogues working together is pretty incredible. So we'll say you definitely have 100 foot of rope if that's what you want to do. The only question is lassoing it. It is too far for a mage hand, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Right, to move before the 30 foot, but the mage hand should be able to lasso it.
Get it 30 foot closer.
How good are you at tossing?
Not massively. I mean, accurate, yes. Strong, probably not. Because I imagine it would be a dex check to lasso.
It would
If you
be.
can get me into the book, so if I go into the book, if you can chuck the book out of character, Helvetica would
Yeah.
say this in some grandiose way. If I go into the book, you chuck the book into the hole, I can catch the rope and tie it on.
That would just tie the rope to the book and throw the book in.
Yeah. And then I come out of the book and done.
Yeah, that could be possible. Okay, do you want to
Just be careful
hop on
not
your
to get
book?
the book into a pond.
I make no promises.
So
There's 2 aquariums.
in the blink of an eye, Helvetica disappears and is inside the book now.
All right.
Again, you can
Perfect.
like try frisbee with your mage hand, so it's a little bit closer.
Oh, yeah, like
Actually, yeah,
30
Mage Hand can
foot.
just drop it.
Yeah, no, 30 foot with the mage hand as far as it can go, and then like just try and flick it as far as it can get next to the statue. Like, it might not be able to get all the way there, but attached to a
roll.
rope, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, roll a attack roll using your dexterity. So as if a short bow, I would say.
24.
24. It just sort of you chuck it. It is perfectly attached. You know, I have a rope, one end of a rope, and a book that's attached to a rope that's attached around the dragon statue to the bottom end.
So do you want to pop out and hold the rope to make
Yes.
sure it doesn't come off?
Yes, Helvetica thinks for a moment, should have agreed a time I was going to pop out. And then pops out.
Yeah, and as you pop out, you land on top of the skeleton of a massive lion creature, or rather the corpse of a massive lion creature. And then as you look around, you see there are 2 more of these corpses on the ground. And you think, oh, that can't be right. If these are the guards, this could be bad. They are quite clearly manticores, so they're not easily messed with. Behind you, you can see the door is still intact, and leads on to wherever. But it does start to give you pause. The fact that, and as you look around, you look up, you see giant scorpions, the giant crayfish, even the sea lions in the level directly above you. They're all doing fine, as far as you can tell. Just these guys. Yeah. But you hold on to the rope. You dismiss those feelings. Hold on to the rope. The rogues are able to swing down. And you're all stood outside this door. It is once again a wooden door, but various things, iconographies is carved into it. Pretty nice.
I gently poke a manticorpse with my sword.
Manticores.
It does not come to life and attack you. It's very fleshy.
Okay.
They've not begun to smell yet either. You don't know if that's a preserving effect of the room, or if it's another thing entirely.
Can we see how they were killed? Like an investigation to see.
They're pierced by many arrows and a couple of spears lying nearby.
Like
Oh,
spears and arrows,
okay.
or
Just arrows. Feather-tipped arrows.
Feather-tipped arrows.
Feather, you know what I mean. Fucking Ben,
Yes.
fucking arrows, man. They've been shot. They've been shot by fucking arrows. What do you want?
That's like Robin Hood arrows.
They're fucking. You know what? They're not even there. They're not even there anymore. There are no There never were any manticores, as far as you're aware. They're gone now. You happy?
Well, Ali's sword is a feather blade.
Yeah.
So
It's just a blade that looks like a feather.
Yeah.
Wait, so can I just check? Is there just lots of arrows and spears on the ground now and no more corpses?
At this point, you hear a very ominous cracking as one of the giant crayfish you pissed off earlier begins to ram itself against the glass barrier. Clearly, very hungry.
Just open the door.
The rope is right there.
Yeah, Helvetica puts
Great.
a shield above her head and starts bashing on the door.
Perfectly.
We push
Great.
open the
You
door.
burst open the door. Lavish furnishings as you enter this room. Lavish furnishings and decorations are everywhere. The floor is strewn with rugs and
Why do I
cushions and
feel like King
tapestries
is going to be there?
are covering the walls. A hookah, no, not a hooker. Ben, I know Ben.
I wasn't going to say a thing.
A smoker, like a Turkish style. You know what I mean?
Like a Turkish hooker, yes.
As tall as an adult human stands in one corner, and the largest piece of furniture is a sumptuous divan. And you can see a rather doughty-looking halfling warrior just sort of sat there. He draws his short sword as he enters, and he says, "Oi! Back off! Who are you? How'd you get in here?"
Helvetica bows. Helvetica bows. I am Helvetica the Bold, and these are my two companions, Sneaky Pete and Stealthy Stew. I hope I got those right around. We come seeking the legendary Heartstopper, and clearly we have found you.
Roll charisma check.
Good at charisma.
Oh my, is that a sword in your pocket?
14.
14. Yeah, I'm gonna roll insight against it. Why not? Gonna roll insight. D20. Natural 20.
Okay, yeah.
I've heard of you bards before. What's your game then? Hey?
Personally, I
West
like
Country halfling.
I'm not a fan of scales, I'll have you know.
I've
By
got
the way-
a set of
by the way,
dice.
By the way, Sneaky Pete, with your 21, you see there is a couple of large boxes, like treasure chests, have been shoved hastily under the divan, lumpy rugs, and you can make out the bejeweled hilt of a sword has also been hastily, it's all been shoved under the divan that the halfling is sat on. And it's actually that was an insight check. We'll say that was a general insight check against you all. The halfling notices you and just sort of brings his foot across and steps on the hilt of the sword and says, I'm no heart stopper. No, not me. I'm just Stuart Manson. Stuart Manson. That's
a pleasure
me.
to meet you.
Stuart Manson. There we go.
Right.
A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Manson.
Great. Well, thank you for breaking me out of that horrible dwarvish wizard. That, oh my God, he'll be back any minute. Oh, we should get out of here while we still can. Yeah.
Lead the
Yeah.
way.
Absolutely.
You clearly know the
Great.
dwarvish wizards.
No, not at all.
I should have, yeah.
I couldn't possibly. I'm
I'm playing Helvetica far too smart.
I can't fly at all. I just yeah. He kidnapped
Very well.
me. Can't really get out of here without flying. Sorry.
Well, we might need to wait a little while I have a nap,
Yeah.
but I can fly us out later.
Great. That sounds great. Mm-hmm.
Wait, is there room on that divan for me? I could use somewhere comfy to begin my nap.
No, this no, this is my chair. This divan is my chair.
Okay, are there any other comfy-looking cushions around?
Oh, the entire place is built for comfort. It is the most comfortable place in the world.
In that
It looks
case,
good.
Helvetica will
It's
just
very
find somewhere to
luxurious.
sit and start having a nap.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
Pete's
then,
going to turn
yes.
to Stu and be like, "This plane seems vaguely familiar."
Are we talking in thieves' cant towards each other?
Yeah. In things can. Does this look like Dad's bedroom to you?
I mean, there's enough pillows and that Turkish hooker does look familiar.
What's that about Turkish delight? I don't. What's that language you're speaking there?
Oh, Thieves' Cant is common. It's just in code.
No, I
Yeah, it's
don't know
coded
anything
language.
I don't know anything about the weather outside or when the volcano is going to erupt. Sorry, no. But we should probably get out of here while we can.
Oh, would you like us to help you pack up any of your belongings before we go?
You do seem to have a lot
No.
of like treasure and stuff like in under that divan and under that rug and just pointing out everything.
Yeah, we just start pointing at things like, and that over there. I think that's an original picture on the wall over there.
Oh yeah. That is. I would have called it you.
Kind of cold.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Initiative. Final initiative. Let's see. Let's see here.
I will roll at disadvantage because I'm supposedly just taking a nap over there.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
were
well,
you actually
Yeah.
were you with us, or were you on a
I-
different part of the room? Because we were talking together, so I imagine you were sleeping,
Yeah,
on a pile of pillows.
so I imagine I went over to a different bit of the room, but it's been like 5 minutes and I've not fallen asleep yet.
Mm. All right. So, let's see what it gets. Initiative wise.
You mean this isn't a halfling?
No, it's a monster. It's obviously a monster. No, come on.
Aren't all
Ken, what?
halflings monsters?
Yes, yes, they are. They
Ah,
destroy
shit.
rings. They knock down towers. They lie on games of riddles. They ask stupid questions like, "What have I got on my pot?" That's not a riddle. Wow. So I
Yeah,
roll
Gollum
12.
tried to answer.
Oh my goodness.
We all
I'm
rolled
going
bad.
Yeah. The rogues. I'll just put rogues.
Helvetika's rubbing
Rogues.
off.
11. Helv on a 7. So it goes, wow, with a 12, it goes 12, it goes first.
I think we were distracted pointing out all the loot we're going to steal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, its first turn, it casts Cone of Cold at you, so everyone make a con save.
Oh, damn it, it's con.
Ooh, I believe I
And
have
it is
advantage
8
on this.
die. 8.
If I went over to go have a nap,
How big's this room? Tis.
Oh, we've all trash.
It is. From where it's sat. Yeah, the room itself is 30 feet north to south and 50 feet east to west. So you could have gone over to one corner. Yeah. Roll me a d20. See how lucky you are. Roll me a d20. Anything above an 11. An 11 or a 12 or above. So anything above an 11, we'll say you're in the wrong corner. Yeah, it catches you. It catches you all, and you all take 31 points of cold damage.
Wait, so we didn't save with a 6 and a 5?
No, absolutely not. Its save DC is above that. 13 also fails. I'll remind you that you all have destiny point for this. I think I gave TR an extra one.
Yes.
And I took Ben's one away for the terribleness he did.
So if you're within 10 feet of me, you do get +4 to saving throws. I don't think +4 would save you.
No, it would not. Yeah. Perfect.
I'll take it.
That's that. That's its turn, and you watch as it dives behind the divan and says, "I don't. Oh fucking sod it! Get out! I don't want to do this to you. Well, I do, but I would much rather just live in peace. This is a very comfortable place. Get out!"
Helvetica just yells, "Same. Can we just have the heartbreak and we'll go?"
Yeah, you can roll persuasion check at the start of your turn. I'll say it's the
Okay.
rogues. We'll say the rogues can act in tandem, of course, because they're
Yeah.
twins, and to be honest, they both rolled an 11.
Yeah.
What do you wish to do, rogues? The door behind you is still open.
Well,
Uh,
I'm pissed.
I'm unhappy.
uh,
Brother, after you.
okay, so I'm gonna run up to him, rapier and short sword in hand,
Mm-hmm.
and first attack. So attack with Mr. Stabby for a 13 to hit.
13 won't hit this thing.
No.
Afraid. You watch as it sinks into the halfling's sort of chest, and as you withdraw, a sort of gout of sea foam water begins to pour out. And it says, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that. I think I'll eat you first."
Then bonus action attack with my short sword.
Perfect. You wasted all those crits earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it catches the sword this time, and yeah, it's the blade begins to freeze. And we'll say it shatters. It now does. It's now mechanically a dagger. We'll say. You still have like a shards of Narsil effect.
Mm-hmm.
Still a pretty cool looking short sword, but it was now does a D4 damage instead of a D6.
Cool.
That's your turn as the other rogue.
Okay, bonus action Hunter's Mark,
Ooh. Okay, I like it.
and then jump the other side, and I'm Booming Blade for
Nice.
17.
Perfect. 17.
Yeah.
Ooh. What can I get it?
And the Hunter's Mark would be a
17 does hit.
4.
17 does hit it. So it takes everything but the 10, right?
The 10 if it moves on the next turn.
Yeah, it's not going to move next turn. It's surrounded by you guys. It's just going to kill you.
So
20, 28,
30,
35,
38.
39, 40,
42, not bad.
42. Not bad. It takes it and it seems nonplussed. As you slash into its back, or stab, or whatever, foul smelling sea foam and seaweed just begins to knit over the wound immediately, and this thing's head turns right around at you, and it shakes its head and it says, "Okay, I changed my mind. I'm just going to devour you both."
I get 7 health back
Ooh, fun.
because it's a fun sword.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, 229 minus.
It'd be interesting if this is a married.
Yeah, cool. Puts it on that. As Helvetica, you are awoken and you're feeling cold. It's like one of those naps you take in the middle of the day and you wake up at like midnight. It's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Oh.
nice. But it is you.
So I'm gonna attempt to make that persuasion. So we don't want to fight either. Can we just? We have no quarrel with you.
I would say
friend.
your two allies have stabbed it in the front and the back respectively. So make it with disadvantage.
Okay.
We'll say
so we have no quarrel with. Oh, they've already started stabbing you, haven't they?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, you shot first.
You know what? You can leave.
It's 14.
Yeah, 14. You can leave. 2 with me. You don't get the sword. But you can leave. I won't attack you.
I'm afraid I need the sword, but I won't attack you so we can sort this out once these two are dead, okay?
Fair dues. It's its turn. And yes, let me see. Let me see now. Well. It makes 2 attacks. Oh, but it has such wonderful spells. Yes, I think it's going to do that. So you watch as it weaves its hands this halfling weaves its hands, and it drops concentration on its disguise. Uh, and you watch as its limbs elongate and grow more scaly, and claws emerge. Fish-like face emerges and grows wider and fatter as this halfling enlarges and elongates, and great frills and spines along this thing's face and ears and along its back. Fishy tail would materialize, but it's a weird creature. It's almost like there's a tornado of water that just materializes, and it's just sort of standing there. And Ali, you called it. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You called him Arid. As
So-
it summons a water elemental before you all. And in Aquin, no one speaks Primordial, so you hear a sort of sound, a gargle, a suppressed gargling, and the water elemental shuffles out of the room and on these gouts of water, and you hear the pounding and cracking of glass.
Uh-oh.
As the
You
Mard
fish.
looks round at all of you very evilly and
So I will
says,
say,
"You won't leave here alive."
oh, but you just said. So I will say, my warlock levels are Patron the Genie, married, which I reflavored, so doesn't give me any benefit. It's just interesting.
Hmm. When we get to your turn, we'll do a thing.
Okay.
That's the Marid's turn casting that spell. It is the rogues.
Okay.
It's not like it can go anywhere.
Yeah. So attack with Mr. Stabby.
Yeah, go for it. No, that just it stabs into its fat belly again, and just the blubber continues to belch forth water.
Offhand.
An 18 does hit it this time.
Does it? Oh.
And you have an ally within 5 feet, so 18 points. It's that on.
Just gonna double check my features, if there's anything else I can do.
It's there. It has taken 60 points of damage so far. It still looks completely fine. I'm afraid, as that's you. It's that's your bonus action as well. It is Stealthy Stew.
Bonus action, steady aim, green flame blade. So a 28.
Flame blade.
Yeah, trying fire instead of thunder.
Yeah, it is going to use its reaction and cast Absorb Element. So it's going to take half damage from everything. So 21, 30.
Is it half damage from one particular source, or
half elemental damage? It takes 35 points.
so the fire damage was 2?
Half. Yeah.
So it absorbs 1.
More importantly, it absorbs the fire and can do a d6 extra damage on its next turn.
Yeah.
Which is right now, and it now draws its trident, and it sort of just swings it around its head like a tornado sword.
Is it not Helveticus then?
Oh yes, sorry. So it is. I thought it was the Marid.
Yeah.
Helvetica, it's your turn, and you recognize this creature as a Marid, a creature which you're pacted to another one of these creatures.
Yeah.
You can hear a voice coming from your mind, your soul, your the whispering, gargling.
Don't kill my cousin.
Ah, I recognize him. That's
Hey,
Hang on, let me look in my notes here.
look at my notes here.
married Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, yes.
That's Cosmoth. What a fucking dick. He owes me money. Kill that fuck. Now. And steal all his gold. Oh, shit. No, you know what? He stole my ring of protection years ago. And my ring of spell storing. Kill him and have them.
Okay.
They're yours. Look at his hands. And you see a mirror ring on one finger and a bright gold ring on the other finger.
Okay.
Cut off that hand. Sorry, that's starting to sound like brag now. Cut off that hand.
Father?
Ah!
Father!
Cut the hands off of everything. Oh god. Yes, Helvetica, you receive orders from your patron to kill this creature and take
Okay.
its belongings.
Okay, in which case Helvetica would say, patron name sends... patron name says hello, get this, and we'll...
You know what? You could grab that sword, the one that the vampire wants you to get, and cut off his hands. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's do that.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Let's wield Heartbreaker.
Yep, I'm going to run down there, attempt to grab Heartbreaker from under the divan, and...
Wicked cool slide and
if I
grab it.
can.
And as you do, roll me a charisma save.
So
well, you can choose to fail this. It attempts to automatically attune to you.
Okay. Oh, that's 29. So I think we just come to an agreement.
Yeah, you can either choose to attune to it immediately, or you can just wield it as a standard greatsword.
I'll attune to it immediately.
You're attuning to it immediately?
Yep, Helvetica's dumb.
Yeah. Just roll the attack, and I'll send you a thing.
Okay.
Maybe if I get there in time.
This is what happened to you.
There's a 25 to hit.
Yeah. That's gonna hit this thing. You're aiming at its hand, right?
Yeah, I'm aiming for its hand.
All
right. Should I roll regular greatsword damage or?
right. Let me just bring up the DMG.
Is this Black Razor?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, also yes. Black Razor. Yeah, it's a +3. +3 to attack and damage. Aware of the presence of tiny or larger creatures within 60 feet of you that aren't constructs or undead. You also can't be charmed or frightened. It can cast haste on you once per day. It decides when to cast the spell and maintains concentration on it so you don't have to. It understands every language you know. It's filled with nihilism. Of course it is, because it's wielded by a vampire, and it hungers for blood and for souls. So, yeah, you want to. It tells you to destroy this creature, and the 29 was to save from also it demanding you kill the rogues as well.
Okay.
So you do manage to maintain control over your senses at this point. You don't become an Oathbreaker Paladin yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that is
So +3
7 damage.
to attacking damage.
So that is 19 on the first attack,
19 damage.
and on my second attack,
You're not smiting?
oh, yeah, I forgot that's fine. Well, I've got the second attack, which got larger.
Yeah.
And, okay, that's 10 damage on the second attack,
Mm-hmm.
and then also a smite.
Mm-hmm.
Searing or regular? Let's go for searing.
Well, you can do both.
Actually, no, searing is fire. So,
Yeah. It's also a bonus action to do.
okay, I say, given I've already slid and picked it up, I'll just do a regular smite then.
With.
With a second level spell, so that is an extra 2d8, I think. Yeah, 2d8.
Second level spells 3 die.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, 2d8 plus 1d8. I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 13?
13. I don't know what that other one was.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think that just totaled your the 7 and the 4.
Oh, okay.
13. Yeah, this thing is now looking bloodied. So this bluish, almost teal blood begins to leak out, and you cut it across the back of the neck, and it's now pouring out of there. Or does it maintain control of its elemental? It does not. So the elemental, luckily, it's the elemental is angry, and it's just going to keep on smashing glass. Speaking of which, it gets 2 attacks, and yes, the nat 20. You hear a definite sort of, and you hear Helvetica, that sort of tide of water that you've got in both your visions thus far, beginning to flood towards you, along with the sounds of snapping sea lions beginning to fill that area outside of this chamber. If you want to look up the stats for Black Razor, by the way, it's
yeah, I've got the DMG on my lap.
essentially
I'm just trying to.
I should have looked at what page that was. That would have helped you out a lot.
There it is. Got it. 216.
It is the Marid's turn now, and it is going to use Control Water, and actually, would it now? No, it's gonna use Control Water next turn. It's just gonna sweep around in a couple of. It's gonna use its Water Jet and then 2 trying attacks. So it's gonna shoot. Yeah, for sure, it's gonna shoot. Yeah, TR, you're doing the most damage. So, Stealthy Stew, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Ooh. Oh, that's poor. I'm going to inspiration that.
Aww.
25.
Oh, dear. Well, luckily it can strafe around. You would have failed it first time as well. Oh no, you have evasion, so you're going to take no damage. Yeah, it is. You're not pushed, you're not prone. So it blasts you with a forceful water. It just fires at you directly in your face. It just vomits water right in your face. And you just stand there like a champ. And as it stops, you shake your head to one side and then back the other, and your mane is luxuriant.
It's just like the showers Mary used to give us.
Yes, indeed it is. With the hose. And then it's going to stab... Yeah, it's going to stab you twice. Sorry, not sorry. With its trident, because you have been doing the most amount of damage. 2 lots of attacks. Well, shit. Although, those both hit, because you're the least armored. Plus 10 to each.
What
Perfect.
is... Oh, then, hey, enjoy my shield.
It casts counterspell.
Balls. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, my armor
Sorry.
class is only 18 now, so yeah, they both hit.
Yeah, it does. So plus 6, plus 12, 31 points of piercing damage. And
41.
31 points of piercing
31.
damage.
Jesus.
And 15 points of cold damage. Oh, and the d6 from your fire, which you so lovingly gave it. Another 2. So 31, 41, 46, 48 points of damage in total.
Hey guys,
Is it just...
I'm almost dead, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very close to dying.
And you watch as it sort of stands there, trident raised in one hand, the onslaught of water coming from the other, and it seems ready to cast a spell about to control this water into some sort of whirlpool around itself and around you all, to attempt to drown you. As that's its turn. It is the rogues now, however, and we'll say, Pete, you're going first, because you see your brother sort of fall to one knee as the trident gets stabbed into him twice.
Yep.
What do you wish to do?
Mr. Stubby, do 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 do. That's better. 22 to hit,
22 is going to hit.
and that's 17 total.
17 points.
How close is the elemental?
It is back outside. There is it's actually concealed in the water.
Right, okay.
So it's about to fly through that door along with the force of, I don't know the mass, but it's 20, 50, 100, 170, 240 times 10, 2,400 square feet of water.
Right.
Much water, you may say.
Much water, you might say, is about to flood through that door and probably wash all the treasure all over the place.
Fair. In that case,
Unless you close the door, of course.
Well, bonus action dagger.
Yeah. Now, are these magical? Is this a magical dagger?
No, they're all
Okay.
magical.
Excellent.
That's gonna be a 12. That's gonna miss anyway.
That is gonna miss. It just laughs in your face.
Mm-hmm.
A gargling, chuckling, gargling laugh.
Yep. So that's gonna be me then.
Mm-hmm. Stealthy Stu
Because
could be your last.
because I'm going down next time. I am
Well,
booming blading, bonus action in attacking.
did your
I have
reckless endurance
3
go off?
hit points.
Yeah, so your reckless endurance hasn't.
No, because I've got 3. I don't think I get reckless endurance.
You do if you're half orc.
If you're
Yeah.
half orc, you
No,
get
not
relentless
if-
endurance.
You custom.
I'm not that kind of half orc.
Ah.
Oh.
Yes, I do not get
Oh.
that.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm just stabbing, booming blade, steady aim. 24, but I will take 4 points of healing from that.
28.
Oh, up to a big 7, baby.
32, 38 points, and it takes 12 if it moves, which it doesn't. 38 puts it on. Oh, it's looking pretty bad, I've got to say, as the water begins closing in. Helvetica, you have 2 attacks.
God.
You are a paladin. I will
Yeah.
say this: if you hit both times, it is well with it. Sid has done more damage than this. Bragg has done more damage than this.
Okay, I'm
As-
going all in.
yeah.
2 attacks.
All right.
Both boost both.
Mm.
That's 18 to hit.
With its ring of protection, 18 does just hit.
Oh, does good. Okay,
Does
Good.
I'll do damage all at once.
Mm. Did you want to bonus action do a thing beforehand, like cast a smitey spell?
Yes, yeah. The
Cool.
searing
Just
side,
say-
which might have got.
Yeah. So both your attacks hit. How many spell slots do you have to burn?
Of the first level, 3.
Okay. So you can definitely get a smite spell off, which I think there's one that does just a d6 damage, and then you can definitely get another two first level divine smites out of it for another 4d8 damage plus Black Raven.
Yeah.
So 4d6 plus 4d8 plus a d6, 5d6 plus 4d8. If you want to roll all that.
Yep, I will.
Oh, I've just remembered,
plus-
Stu, you've got Hunter's Mark on the thing as well.
Oh yes, there's another 6. Sorry.
Oh, another d6.
Oh, that's 35 damage on
3.
it. Wait, oh, that's 35 damage plus 8 because I forgot.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, no, that's plus 8 plus. Because that's just the dice. There's no modifiers in there. Plus 8 plus 16, so plus 24.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Okay, never mind then. As TR, you remind me of the plus 3, it had 36 hit points left, and then the 35 came up. I was like,
Oh,
with the modifiers.
that's before modifiers.
So, Helvetica, the bold, Helvetica the brave, Helvetica the paladin of death,
Helvetica the italic.
Hungerer. How do you finish off this creature? How do you finish off this married?
I think in true Helvetica fashion, Helvetica is still just trying to chop off its hands.
Yeah.
And just on the backswing of one of those chops, accidentally chops off its head.
Yeah. As you go to backswing, you sort of put it right up and along its chin, and you just hack into its wrist, and you feel a tremor up your arm as you return to full health. As Heartbreaker conveys some of the power and some of the soul energy it devours, because you've reduced this creature to 0 hit points.
Yeah.
You watch, the rest of you watch in horror as Heartbreaker, wielded by Helvetica the Bold, seems to almost atomize this creature and withdraw its entire being into the sword, which glows with a primal ferocity. And you hear in your head, Helvetica.
I was going to say, do you hear the tink of the rings?
Yes, you would hear the tink of the rings over the rushing torrent of water that is about to pour into the room. Helvetica, you're able to run towards the door and close it, but you just hear in your hands as you hold the door closed, and a magical wall of force. It's in the model. Wall of force, as soon as the door is closed, springs up to protect you from the water. You hear inside your head, as you turn back to your allies, panting, "Must feed. Give me more." I need another charisma save from you,
Okay.
please.
I am very good at charisma saves, but that was a 2 for a total of 14.
As you turn back towards your party, and you hear inside your head,
Do you still have your destiny point?
"Feed."
If you want to use it.
If you want to use it, this would be a good place to end. I'm about to end.
I'll use it.
Oh, that's a shame. Boo. Now one.
Just so I can betray them later when there's less water trying to drown us.
That's fine. So you turn back towards them and you hear, "Must feed." You look at your friends, your party members, and it takes every ounce of strength in your body to drop the sword, and it clatters to the floor. But you still hear inside your mind, "Must feed. I hunger. I must. You must feed me. You must feed."
Later.
And as you settle
dear
down,
friend.
as you settle down for short rest, long rest, I'll wait for the water level to subside for you to gain your wings back.
Long rest, I think, to get wings. Yep.
Yeah.
Pete would be just shoveling
What-
gold into his bag of holding.
Yeah, you ransack the room, you settle down for your long rest, and you head out of the volcano in the morning. You head out of White Maw Mountain and back down to meet, to possibly meet with Kiki. Who knows what might occur on the journey there, and whether Junior von Strassen in this universe will get his heartbreaker back. But with that in mind, and with a very powerful magic weapon reclaimed, with an enemy vanquished, and still with no idea who actually stole them, but
Yeah, there were no dwarves.
Yeah. With all that in mind, and with treasure claimed, and with adventure done, that is where we're going to end this week, as the Altsphere, the camera pans out of this Altsphere and into a vast other series, and the audience hears the cracking as if of glass and a murmuring of, "Oh dear." And that is where we're going to end this week. So thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for playing. Do you have anything to plug? Anyone?
Not.
I don't.
No, nothing to plug.
Perfect.
Not.
Then I believe we'll be back next Friday? Question mark.
Yeah.
I won't, but
I think I'm off as well. I believe the Shattered Altsphere will be back next week. Until then, be wonderful to each other. Have a great Pride Month, and have fun with it. Bye.
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 Bye.